President Trump on CNBC this morning making comments once again about a wide range of topics we'll get into here in a second. We're just waiting for balance of trade data for June, both Canadian and U.S. just coming through here. Export side of things, $277.3 billion to the upside, prior downside a little bit, $279. Imports for June, $337.5 billion versus $338.6 billion. The balance of trade overall, negative $60.2 billion. Expected was a little bit bigger than that, negative $61.5 billion. Coming up at 9:45 this morning, S&P Global Composite PMI, then 10 o'clock, the ISM services version of that number. Pretty much it as far as the economic calendar is concerned so far. Nice start to the day, though. Overall, market back to the upside in a pretty big way here this morning. We're extending those gains from late in the session yesterday. It was just up and away all day long for not only the Nasdaq, but the S&P 500. There's Palantir, just took out 172. 172 Crazy. This morning on a big beat for PLTR. Alex Karp and Corp happy this morning.
Oh, they're definitely happy, Brendo. Great report, beating all expectations, and now printing over $1 billion a quarter for the first time. Great look for them. We got AMD and SMCI reporting after the bell on deck. Make sure to catch that with Sean I and Adara on the market recap show. HIMS also reporting big drop down, Brendo. This one could open up SSR down 10% now, as well as Coinbase with an offering down 4%. Intel getting a downgrade. Lemonade with a great report up 8 3/4, and we continue to watch Figma after the IPO, Brendo, up 3.8.
Yeah, a bit of a bounce back this morning after what happened yesterday. Tesla back to the downside here right now as well. Was trying to hold 310, just gave that up. There's a legal decision that went against Tesla. So, I mean, it's up anyways with the overall market this morning. Kind of an interesting story for Amazon winning out over really anyone else, including SpaceX, I should say, and Elon Musk in Australia for a satellite deal. So Amazon trying to bounce here as well after a negative session yesterday. Lots to digest this morning, guys. Good morning.
Yeah, lots to digest. An interesting interview that, I don't know, we were tuning in and listening.
Yeah, it's market moving, right?
Yeah, it's market moving. At the end of the day, though, more market moving than the earnings. I don't know. And really, when you think about it, HIMS is bouncing and actually isn't even down 10% anymore. But if you take out Palantir last night, it was pretty bad. Most everything was to the downside this morning. I mean, Caterpillar's down on earnings. Lemonade's good, but that's like a squeeze name. It's not really going to affect things. So yeah, it's a good sign. I think that the market is flat and not to the downside. But this is a week of the Russell. Over a third of the Russell reports this week, so it's going to be movers and shakers that we're going to be concerned about, no questions asked. So Palantir, obviously the big cap name going over the $1 billion mark on revenue, for those that don't know what a billy means, obviously. And the Intel story, by the way, that is not just a downgrade. There's a Reuters report suggesting they're having serious manufacturing issues with the quality of their new chip and being able to get the yield high enough, meaning being able to use the ones that they're putting out there. That's not good. That's really bad. So it's more than just a downgrade, that story. That's one of the short ideas in the chip space that I'll be looking at.
Yeah, hey everybody. Yeah, so we're pretty happy here today, obviously, with what Palantir has been doing. They had their first $1 billion quarter revenue as far as that's concerned. You also get their 46% operating margin increase. I mean, it's just 93% year-over-year revenue growth. I mean, it's absolutely huge. Better guidance. This name is going to continue to run. The best part about Palantir is, if you look at the options, there's still 11% implied move here by the end of the week. So we're going to get a mover and a shaker in the next couple of days for sure, as people continue to play this name with options and get it going. We're really excited to sit here and trade some Palantir today. This is going to be a stock that I'll be trading day one of earnings. I mean, it's up, and it's up. And I feel pretty positive about all of this, man. I mean, a 170 dip buy is great. What's going on with Coinbase, though? Coinbase right now getting kicked. Yeah, so an offering right there. Huge move. Google and OpenAI just received some sort of a civilian contract, something, blah, 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 but we'll have to wait to see that. Google on the march, too. Wow, what a name this has been, taking these levels out right now. We're going to get some 198 possible breakouts here for Google, right back to all-time highs again for this name is great. So that's fantastic. You know, you can't keep these giants down for very long. That is obviously being played out right now. I mean, with
unless it's the New
Microsoft,
York Giants.
Forget about the New York Giants. I mean, Russell Wilson, is that the savior over there? Is that what's going on over there? Scatabo, we talked about that yesterday a little bit, their new rookie running back.
I'm taking him in the draft.
Good luck with that. I just, Microsoft, Meta, Apple, Amazon. I mean, Amazon is getting kicked right now, but, the other three big ones, Google, Meta, Microsoft, all near their highs. Nvidia at its high, basically, as well, $2 away from that. AMD reporting tonight. That name's not going to stop. Tons of names tonight. I was talking about this with Brendan yesterday. Snapchat, AMD, SMCI. It keeps on coming tonight. Shrifai and Adara will be on the show, but nice little pullback here in the pre-market based on some of this talk about Donald Trump there and talking about India a little bit. He didn't like that oil situation. He didn't like the healthcare situation there in Europe, and some of the biotech names coming back in as well. XBI, maybe a move on some of that talk. XBI, not XBIL. There it is, XBI. Is it pulling back $87? It's probably about right. But no, nothing happening there. All right, so yeah, I mean, Coinbase, Coinbase is the big surprise for me today, coming in and seeing that name getting hit to the downside. And Neil just mentioned it was an offering, so I got to do a little bit more work on that. Down 4% right now. This name's getting crushed. Bitcoin also only at 114.
Not great for Bitcoin.
I mean, what's up with Bitcoin?
You know who else reports after the bell tonight?
A bunch.
Open.
That was the other one. Yeah, there's a whole bunch.
I think, look, obviously for market moves, we care about the big name, but when it comes to like trading and squeezes, you'll probably be paying attention to Open. This is what happens when the shorts, Michael Loss was bringing up a point, I didn't realize this to be true, which just makes it seems insane that the short float on this started bouncing and saw a lot of increase, but it's between like the 8th and when it broke $1. Like mid-July. Like before it was breaking $1, the shorts were already selling, like increasing the shorts was breaking the 50-period moving average. It goes to $5. I'm going to venture to say that going into the earning, they're not all out. But it's wild to me that hedgies, where a stock does this, like they're already starting to fade, or anybody, when it only goes up from like 50, 60 cents to like 80 to 90. It just shows how relentless some short sellers are, and they should be caught off guard here. I think I have no idea what Open's earnings are going to be, but as a trader, you kind of hope for the upside there. Nothing against the hedge funds.
Upstart also reporting. Upstart, Lucid, Rivian. It's going to be
Lucid,
Rivian. I mean, Randy's here today. It's welcome back to everybody in Canada. It's now a start of your work week today, Tuesday, August the 5th. Wow, the summer just goes by.
It's too fast.
I was saying that, like a lot of, if you're part of OBA, which is Ontario Baseball, that's done now. It's getting close to being done now.
Yep.
As August rolls around, we're getting lighter and lighter on the schedule now, and more hockey stuff is piling in, and baseball stuff coming to an end. Bitcoin now, Trump just said he'll probably won't run again. 114, won't run again. Probably won't.
Probably.
I didn't think. Anyways, there goes crypto down to 114 and change. Right now, getting a little lower there on Bitcoin. This has not been a great moment in time for BTC over the last little while. But if you go over to a daily chart, I mean, I think that this is just a good opportunity to buy some more if you really did like it. You're down into there. That is the 50-period moving average. So, the last couple of times we've seen it, it has taken a little bit of a dump through there. We went from 105 down to 102 or 101, and then we held it up right there, and now we just bounced again yesterday. We talked about the 112 area coming into play. So if that comes into play again there for Bitcoin, especially on some news from Trump here, we saw Coinbase go downside. If the market gets a little jittery, watch out for a 112 area there for BTC. I really like that. And I know there's some Ethereum talk and everything like that. That keeps working.
Well, ETH chart, we'll get to this in just a quick second, but ETH on the 15, like it's starting to drop pretty precipitously as well, like a couple of down legs on this. But really when it comes down to it, hey, couldn't break 4,000, did a healthy pullback, bounced, and now you're putting in a lower high. So yeah, you run into it was a great rally. It's been a great rally, and technically you're still sort of consolidating that high, but a little bit of froth coming out. Maybe froth is the wrong word. Froth is right. We're a little froth, I think, coming out at some of these highs, especially for like the ancillary crypto plays. And we're seeing this, we're starting to see this play out, certainly. Like we're getting all these treasury plays, and we'll see how Verb does on day 2, but it was already losing. And these have been good runs, but it lost the bid in the afternoon yesterday and is down 9% today. So you're not really getting even more than 1 or 2 days of rush. It'll be interesting to see how this one holds up. This is a Ton coin treasury that went ham yesterday, but in the afternoon really started to give up that bid. So yeah, you're seeing some signs of, I guess pullback would be the right way to go. But the first thing that I'd feel good about a bounce in would be Bitcoin, not the others, because they lead the rally, everything else follows. They should lead the bounce. And if we're not even getting underneath 110, then what are we all that afraid of?
Yep, excited for Bitcoin to be able to buy a little bit more. Look, it's going to be a great day here. We've got everyone's working out there behind us. Oh, speak of the devil,
early
we've got some
special
plums
delivery
going on.
Yes.
Yes, Randy.
Randy.
Yes.
Yes.
Randy, yes. No.
No. Oh, he did say no.
He finally got it at the end of that. I don't think he exactly understood what we were doing there.
Yeah,
the plums have been okay recently, so that's okay. We'll try it again. Right here, here's the Valeria doll, by the way. Valeria doll. The thing is, if I put it here, it always falls down pretty easily.
It doesn't stand. It doesn't stand.
Get out of here, Valeria.
Lean it on Josh.
Get out of here.
Josh is losing his.
And just random Connor Brown.
It's like losing his jersey here. It's all falling apart.
Wow, okay, I mean, Bitcoin is now getting hit even harder right now. It's down to 13.8. I mean, all of a sudden, this thing just started to drip down a little bit here. So let's, I don't know, nice move, man. We were just at 15,000. We just went from 15 down to 13.8. This is a minute chart. Let's call this 20 minutes. Nice downside play there for BTC. Wow, okay, so now we're starting to get excited a little bit here. Let me guess, Palantir just keeps moving higher here. PLTR, 171 and change, 172. I have to watch out for that one. Uber, Amazon's the one that we're gonna have to do a little bit more work on because this continues to get a little lower here. Today it's flattish. It's up actually based on the market, but this name keeps on breaking lower. We just broke the 50-period moving average. We'll talk more about Amazon as the show goes on, but that 200 level looks pretty prime for a dip buy opportunity. Yeah. It was all right.
We'll take it. But you know what? I think is Amazon worse than Apple right now?
Well, from its way down, I mean, Amazon's down 10% from its high.
Oh,
it's down 10% from 5 days ago.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like Apple's chart maybe looks worse, but Amazon, that's the one that just gets. Whatever. We'll talk way more about Amazon because that 200-period moving average comes into play today.
And buy more of that.
That's a big one. I think this is I said we wait a little bit to see it test today, but I'll probably get a little bit impatient and nibble today because I think that's a good value on Amazon. Let's go back up to the desk and see what else we have to talk about. So much to get to.
Just saying, looks like Trump, guys, has ended his little chit-chat there on CNBC. So just a heads up for the overall market. His last comment, though, was he said he would like to run again, but probably he won't. I'm just not even going to touch that one. Is what it is. Here's that Google, OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic winning U.S. approval for civilian AI contracts. We're back to session highs. Huge day yesterday for Google. It was just straight to the upside right out of the gate.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, Brendo, after earnings, with that good cloud number, fantastic look. What is there to say? But let's see what this AI headline is. No detail on it yet, but Loop maintaining Google today with a hold and a price target of $190, but boosting the price target from the previous level of 165. So already up 0.1 here in the pre-market. We'll keep an eye on Google. Brando.
Given the current demand or excess demand, I guess, for IPOs, I was reading a note last night that was really interesting, trying to make the case that OpenAI specifically, and I know they have some structural issues on why they won't be able to do this right now, but OpenAI might be missing an opportunity right now to come public.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of legwork they have to do behind the scenes, obviously, to get to a point where that could happen. But given this environment, can you imagine if we had OpenAI to trade as well.
It'd be fantastic for us, but I don't even think they have the incentive, Breno. They're making or they're generating so much money from the private markets through private equity, private lending, that they don't really have the incentive to come to market. In addition to that, you've got the tokenization of these equities, even private market equities, you know, through Robinhood and SoFi, giving you not, you know, much to Altman's dismay, but giving you an actual ownership share in some of these private companies. So we'll see if that disincentivizes possibly some of these companies from going public.
Yeah, I was just reading it as well. Trump talking as much as 250% tariffs on pharma. Ooh. So that's coming soon, according to President Trump as well.
He was saying next week on earlier on the CNBC.
Yeah, they're now actually posting could eventually reach up to 250% on pharma tariffs. So that's not a little bit. So the market reversing here, guys. Trump has left the screen.
Slight down, and then we just easy bounce, I guess, I suppose. But the pharma tariff, it's not chump change. That said, those were numbers that we saw being bandied about for some time. So I kind of feel as if for a lot of this, like the shock's out there. Like you get warnings of what the shock is going to be early on, so that when by the time you get slapped with the tariffs, it feels like you've already been hit. Pfizer reported, which is probably the entire explanation as to why they are going to be to the upside here. But a lot of these names, I think it's, look, to be honest, what's interesting about when it comes to Pfizer and Merck, and doesn't necessarily get talked about enough as to why these charts all look relatively the same, is you have this patent cliff in a couple of years that's coming down on some really major drugs that are huge sources of revenue. That's one of the reasons why people keep talking about M&A for the big names in here. And then you throw this tariff thing in and you're just like kicking them while they are down. I mean, I think there's going to be a good opportunity, and maybe as this is starting to unwind, that's where it's going to be. I think there's going to be more M&A there. But XP has been trying to go for some time. Merck's been trying to go for some time. Pfizer's been trying to catch a little bit of a bottom, and really the only thing you can own is Eli Lilly. It's actually performing really well. At least the only thing that I look at that's performing remotely well. And I used to be a Pfizer owner, and it was just, I remember holding on. It was one of those easy plays during COVID. Like everything went up, and that one made sense. But just huge disappointment there. I don't know if they're a buy just yet. I think speculating in smaller ones for some deals might be the better way to go.
I was going to say, just looking it up, that we do have in a couple of days, in 2 days, Eli Lilly reports. I think we want to take advantage of dip buys, and even in a stock like a Microsoft that's pulled back in here again. Like, you know, this name continues to work, almost a perfect quarter. You get a couple pullbacks there, you know, into the end of last week. We actually had a negative week last week, finally, in the Nasdaq, but Microsoft pulls right back in, and that was probably a buy there at 520. I'm actually looking to see about a 540 break. Whoopsies, it's right here today for MSFT, and that looks great. I mean, opportunity to buy that thing down there at 520 after a 560 print. I mean, that was a missed opportunity for sure. So we'll wait to see if Microsoft gets going. Look, it's tech's world. We're all living in it, honestly. The growth and the engine that are these top 5 names in the market are absolutely huge. If you go back and look at it, it's like their projected growth is like 15 point something percent, while the rest of the S&P is 4 to 5%.
Correct.
So it's like, it's absolutely blowout numbers for a lot of these names. And yeah, we'll just keep on looking around, man.
But the other side of that coin is, we're going to get to the interview is in a quick little second here, but is the expectations now on everyone else reporting going forward? Like, we started off so hot.
But there's so many names that are now, I mean, there's no more big cap names except for the biggest.
Well, I do think that like, this could make it harder for like an AMD.
But do you think AMD really cares about all of this stuff? I mean, their quarter's already behind them. Remember, they're reporting factual.
Oh, of course. Yeah. No, 100%. You're recording factual things, but I just feel like there's going to be a lot of
AMD guiding lower, though? I can't.
I can't either, but it's just I think they get punished more than they usually would if it happens. I think that's what happens in this market. Like, we're just going to punish people way more than they deserve to be on their reports if they miss by a little bit.
As long valuations really don't matter unless you miss.
Yeah.
That because like if you beat, then the valuation is in line, like that. You've met the expectations.
Exactly.
These PEs, these forward PEs, are based on expectations and future revenues and future guides and all that kind of stuff. So if you come out and you beat like a Palantir, why is nobody saying, hey, Palantir can't go up, it's at a 600 PE? Really? Well, there's 7% right there. So why doesn't that PE just be 900? It doesn't matter. As long as they keep on beating and putting up the numbers, these valuations aren't going to matter until eventually they do. And that's the thing. When does this sort of acceleration stop? I don't think it's we're close to that until we get a next quarter. There has to be a miss. And until you get misses, that valuation is not a problem. And that's why some of these names like Palo Alto continue to get hit, because they didn't make what the street thought was a good decision in CyberArk, so therefore it gets hit. All right, we're running out of time a little bit here, but I think those are great talk, and we have more of that coming up right now. Yeah, with Mitch and Trade the Pool. So let's go back over to the desk and find out what the boys are up to.
Yeah, let's bring him right in here. As you said, we're running on in time. Mitch Hoke over at Trade the Pool back with us on a Tuesday morning. Good to see you, Mitch. Busy.
Good to see you.
Yeah, busy market. Lots to discuss here. We were dipping into coal a little bit the last time you were with us, going back to last week. Big day yesterday for this entire group. Let's just jump right into it here. What are you seeing as far as the group is concerned? And then throw a couple of names at me here. METC is the one, I guess, top of the list.
Yeah, the one that I was trading yesterday, was able to trade this one and BTU yesterday for the long side. Actually talked about these originally here on the show when BTU first broke the 1550, looking for a setup through the 16. I call this the black gold, right? And I think that this is what we need to be keeping watch on this. How did this come alive? Well, a lot of it is all this kind of rare earths move that happened off the big beautiful bill and the battle that's going on in rare earth right now, guys. So these materials are on fire, whether you're looking at uranium or things like that, or now even lithium stocks moving, right? So I'm just going to continue looking in basic materials, where the ice cream is, the flavor of the week, right? Right now it's coal. I'm watching METC, BTU. One that's a bigger name that's just getting off the support is AMR. So maybe that plays a little bit of a lagging look today. So we'll see what happens with these. But of course, the black gold doing well, and look for maybe some lithium names also.
It seems like this is if you go into the defense sector as well, I was noticing yesterday, there's a lot of lower price stocks starting to play along and starting to get a little bit more attention. You just brought this AMR here, $119 stock versus some of the smaller ones we were just looking at catching more of a bid.
Yeah, you got to look for the ones that have the momentum right now. So like we saw the MP deal, right? And that MP deal started to get a lot of names starting to move. One name that I've been trading recently is UUUU. 4 U's there, guys, but it definitely has been doing well. And this is all based on this style of trading right now. And I think that you got to continue to look to see if these names bounce back. This one had a crazy bounce back. I even rode this one for a short when it was extended. So we got to play these both sides. There's also UAMY, another name, right? Another North American supplier in an area that is battled for right now. So rare earths are going to continue being battled for. If you want some higher quality names, there's a name like ALB, of course, that I'd watch. And long term, I like SQM, but that's more Chile. We're looking at more what's actually US based, also kind of focused here, so that we can continue to see these get the lift. And this also has to do with the battle that Trump's on right now. He's clearly battling for rare earths. He knows how important it is, and we're going to continue to battle China to get these materials. And if you see what's going on in China, they're actually causing for some of these supplies, you actually have to take a picture and provide certain evidence that this is not going to the US military. And so what we're going to see is more of a battle here. That is a continued battle to look for here. PLL, another name, just to add one more to the list.
Yeah, I mean, all kinds of demand in that group, which is good for the entire sector. Let's jump down to Fintech, because I want to mention we're on the back end of some of the bigger earnings anyways. We still have notable names to come, obviously, with Nvidia. Some that have already reported, like SoFi, though. Another big day, ends the day yesterday at the highs. We're up again. What are you seeing here with SoFi?
Yeah, so SoFi has been on a move just because it also has all like the hype words. Of course, it has blockchain, it has crypto in it, it has student loans, right? So all the things are going for SoFi. Another thing that happened, of course, in the big beautiful bill was about lending regulation, and lending regulation has pretty much gotten the door wide open. So if you're starting to see some of these lending companies going higher, that's a good area to look and jump on a potential bubble here. So I'm starting to look at these names and they're starting to lift off, whether it be SoFi, whether it be looking into like an Affirm, buy now, pay later, right? Upstart also starting to get the lift, and even a smaller name like a Lending Tree. Just take a look at that chart. Why is it taking off? I'm sure a lot of you guys are scratching your heads, but the real key is the doors are open here to lend out more and more. And if you remember a couple months back, Affirm got another kind of deregulation that came into play, which didn't treat Affirm like a credit card,
Like, are they
right? And so all these types of things are playing in to the factor that the doors are open to go lending.
All right, let's continue along here. Given the overall state that we're at and the overall place we're at, I guess, in the market, you know, the Fed behind us, bigger earnings, as we mentioned, behind us here, we're starting to see going into the latter part of the summer and maybe even into the fall, some of these small caps coming back to life and catching a little bit more attention, a little bit more of a bid. Is there a certain area of the market, you mentioned, you know, a few there, is there a certain area of the market, though, we really should be focusing on that we're not?
Right now, I mean, there's definitely different themes. There's like a real estate theme that's been going on. Zillow's been going higher. This is also maybe views that they see the rate cut coming. I know I'm not the biggest camp in the rate cut game, but the stock itself is definitely starting to take off. Another one that I'll give you guys a smaller name to go with this one, right? There's always a leader and kind of lag, is Opendoor. Opendoor recently had gotten a big push. A lot of people were looking at this one as a short squeeze candidate, but it's actually not the worst kind of business right now. And it's definitely a competition to Zillow. So if Zillow's going higher, I'd look for this one to kind of lag a little bit and start to play catch up. Maybe a move through 250 is not a bad way to look at. But right now, what you're seeing is a lot of these smaller names that are in the right theme, right? So yes, there's some high quality names. Those are the names that you might want to stick to on the long term. But the short term trading is looking really good with those names that just bring into the hype, right? This is why we saw names like, let's say like BTBT go up and then right back down. Why? Because they just made a mention that they were going to invest in ETH and kind of follow the MSTR strategy, but in ETH. These are the types of things that we're seeing. They're just trying to jump on the right PR. And if you can't get your stock moving in this environment, you're never going to do it.
Yeah, it's a great point. And I think a lot of the reason why a lot of these are coming back to life and moving around a little bit. We're tight on time, as we mentioned. Give me your top two, top three to go to here at the open this morning.
Yeah, I got you. I'm looking at data storage, FLNC, to see if this one can really get going. This one had a nice little pullback when BE was pulling back. Of course, Bloom Energy, we've seen the recent reports and how that's gone higher. So FLNC yesterday, really nice kind of pullback, started to get to play. I'll look for maybe an inside day, maybe a little bit of a pullback, then continues higher. We'll see what happens. But another thing is just be careful out the gates today, guys, because I felt like a lot of everybody just quickly jumped back into the bull camp, which wasn't a problem for yesterday, but we're not in yesterday's market. So don't forget that we kind of closed that gap. We could kind of have an inside day, and then we'll look to see what happens with AMD tonight. And I saw the boys talking about it, so I'll bring a little extra statistics for you guys. Revenue has beat estimates 16 out of the last 17 quarters. And when you look at EPS, 14 times in the last 17 quarters for AMD. So is this going to go away? Could they beat again? Hell yeah. Probability is on the upside here. And one thing that I'll say is the number one thing to look at is data center growth. Last quarter, 57% revenue increase. Look for that number being the focus number in tonight's earnings.
Going into the report, are you a guy that just is hands off before the actual earnings?
Oh, of course. I mean, we wanted this thing at 116, guys. That's where I talked about the bull flag. And it was right here on this show that I said, I'd like AMD over Nvidia this year just because it can outperform. And in this case, I think we continue to see the outperformance. The only question is playing into tonight, that's going to be a little bit of a tough game, guys. Maybe yesterday you could have played because of the kind of the market sentiment kind of affecting the pullback on AMD and then it just going back higher. At this point, I think it's very hard to play on a day like today.
Mitch Hoke, going to be in studio coming up here in a few weeks. all the guys over at Trade the Pool are going to come by. We're looking forward to it. Mitch, what's happening?
I wasn't playing, guys. Bring the desk. I'm ready to go. Stream Deck ready.
Wait,
Let's go.
I got an extra seat right here.
Come on, I know, Neil, they don't allow you to press the buttons. We're gonna get you to press the buttons.
Mitch Hoke, always great insight. Good to see you.
I'll see you on Trade the Pool, guys.
Hey man, well, how come?
Games
No,
there.
our Stream Deck does. I think he has an extra row in his. I need an extra row. I could take an extra
There's
row.
bigger ones, there's smaller ones, you know.
Yeah. No, it's always going to be fun. We'll have him in the studio. Of course, I don't know where we'll be in the renovations up in here, Mitch, but you're dressed the right way because it's dark. Like, the darkness is spreading,
that's right. Got the black
which
on,
is the
got the
idea
darkness,
with the
yeah.
black in here. Like you'll just essentially fit right in. I do think AMD is going to be tricky today. And we always talk about this like the day of earnings. And already with the market looking relatively strong, like this is actually trending in a bit to the downside. But one name, I like me some SoFi. You know what I love about what's happening in SoFi is it seemed like it was doing that thing that it always does after earnings, which is look like it's going to be fantastic and then dump it. But even when it sold off, bounce. It just bounced 21, bounced 21, bounced 21.
Bouncing,
3 times it's bounced off the $21 level, which is exactly where it was before earnings. So yeah, I love these fintech names, specifically SoFi doing really well. I don't know if we get to. It's kind of crazy. Like when you see an obvious one like this, by the time you're sometimes paying attention to the support level, you don't get it that third time with any luck. You know what? I don't want SoFi to drop $1 today. That's hefty of a move, but that 21 is pretty good on SoFi. And we just got a reload. So apparently the answer was yes on coffee.
Tonight we have Rivian, tonight we have Lucid. So which, if you could invest in one or the other at this point in time? We don't have to call up charts.
Are we on?
We're always on, man. Do you feel good about any of those right now?
You can say no. I mean,
I think Rivian, right? Oh no, not right now.
So yeah, we're pre-production R2. R1S, R1T sales are kind of flat. Lucid's is a nothing burger. They've
Right.
been just kind of doing this for 18 months, 20 months. So I don't know. I'm not expecting great things for Rivian. I hate to be negative on this stock, but there's a horizon here. There's an end game coming, and we're not that far away. So yeah, I would just hang on. It's not a.
Both the charts look very similar. You're
Right.
You're near the
and
bottoms
there's
of both.
not a lot to be excited about right now.
This is Lucid here.
But for Rivian, yeah, there's some good news again on the horizon. Lucid,
Because Lucid doesn't have a cheap car, right? They don't.
No, and
super expensive.
There's
For a
been
sedan.
rumors about, a cheaper model. Is it here? No. Is it an Elon promise? Possibly. Yeah. So let's. I'm going to say Rivian's probably going to have some negative sales numbers, but they're sitting on some Volkswagen billions to get them through
Right, that's
this,
the other
this
thing.
period.
that's what
Yep.
matters at this point in the cycle.
And
We've
once
got the cash.
that new plant in Georgia gets up and running, and we have pre-production prototypes for R2s, then we're going to start to see this.
Did you see Optimus with Tesla there, starting at so pre-orders are out right now.
Yep.
23 grand.
You can get the
That's
lowest
it.
model.
It's 8 hours. It does common jobs,
Yeah.
this and that. I think that's pretty nice to see for Tesla. Give it another revenue stream.
23
there,
is a nice bracket to be in.
But it can only carry 44 pounds. It's like you have to get the upper model to be able to
yeah,
able to
okay.
move anything heavy. But whatever.
You gonna get one?
I've already said this before. Like I will never. It's the kind of thing
I don't have that much need for it.
I would never be first. I'd like to. What does it do? What does it pull off?
I just got a Roomba. and
But
it works.
eventually, if I don't even know what it's actually pulling off when I see people using it. You'll see videos online. Like once I get in the sense of that, I mean, eventually, why not? Like if you really think about the end game for this, like folding laundry, washing dishes, like there's so much around.
Can it mow the lawn or wash the car?
Mow the lawn, of course. Why wouldn't it be able to? We were talking about it cutting my hair. Like there's just who knows what's going to be able to do.
Are you paying a robot $23,000 to wash your dishes? I mean, I don't know.
I have a dishwasher.
That's what I'm saying. It seems a little bit pricey. You got to figure it out.
No, but it's not just going to do that. It's going to do everything
of
around the
course.
house. Move your furniture. It's
How often do you move
it's
your
all
furniture?
little things.
Moves his furniture.
Oh,
a
way
lot.
too
Can it flip burgers on a barbecue? Can it,
Of course it can. That's the end game.
But I don't want it to do that.
If it can't, then
What do you want it to do?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think about. Like, what's the... Well, I mean, I'm in a little bit of a different situation. I'm lucky enough Marissa doesn't work or anything like that. So at the home, if I ask to talk to her, maybe, yeah, she wants to get some of those jobs.
Can it walk the
automated.
dog or, you know?
Yeah, well,
all those-
just
walk the dog. Of course. That's the end game.
It's Clive. Like, you know, you get...
Clyde takes me for a walk.
Right, so exactly. But so it's that kind of stuff, cleaning up after your animals, things like that. Like,
that's a
I
good
could
one.
see some
That's
benefits
a good,
there,
I
but
like
it's...
that. Picking up the,
Put up
I mean, if you spend a couple $100 a year on that,
Oh, yeah,
then
that's-
the next thing you know, I don't know. I just don't know.
Clean out the gutter. Oh, guys, come on.
I think it'd be great. It's just like, you know how much cleaning out the gutter is, man? I could just call somebody and pay them a couple $100. They do it.
No, I just think it's every
Yeah.
job, and there's
get one for the show so it can bring you guys coffee.
That'd be sick if Optimus just started, and Roebuck came here.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be crazy. Yes, I agree with that, actually. Now Randy's onto something. But see, then he's taking away, like, then we don't get to see Randy as much. You see, it's like that personal
You can talk
touch.
to it.
The personal
I don't.
touch.
Well, I think you get the higher models have better interactions, but you can definitely talk to it.
I mean, if we buy a robot for 23 grand to bring us coffee, then you know if times are good around here, if that's what we're doing. But yeah, it's 9:05, 9:06. Let's go over to the desk. We're going to hear from Sharif. We're going to hear about the market. We got the watch list ready to go. Make sure you do subscribe. Get the link in description to get our watch list. It's completely free with all of the names that we're going to be going over right now with key points. You know, you want to know what Palantir's earnings were? Bang, it's right there in the watch list. You don't even have to
Yes, sir.
use ChatGPT. All right, let's go back
It's
over
better
to
than
this.
ChatGPT. Accurate.
63.55, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES September contract. We reclaimed 6,300, and we've also reclaimed that 50-point area. That's the overnight low, 63.58. So we're using 63.50 as our support level. The overnight high takes us to 77. So we'll say 6,400, Brendo, as resistance.
So much to know this morning, so much to know coming up tonight as well. Make sure you stay with us after the close at 4 o'clock. Going to be another earnings show to deal with. If you haven't done so, top link in the description will get you to that page. All you need is your email address, and you can get the watch list every single day for free. Just hearing a couple of things on global stuff, but nothing market moving at this point. I'll check that out in a second. 172, though, seems to be a bit of an issue here, which was the high from after the close yesterday for PLTR. I mean, this is Dan Ives, so obviously it's upside. But there's lots, is my point. There's lots and lots of analysts with positive reviews, positive notes, price target hikes right across the board.
It makes sense with the revenue coming in over $1 billion now, Brendo, beating that $940 million estimate. The first time they've topped the $1 billion mark, with EPS coming in at 16 pennies ahead of the 14 expected by the street. Revenue surged 48% year over year on the quarter, well ahead of expectations. And you saw what the shares did. Net income also soared 144% year over year. Guys, that's a take-home money. Up to 327 million, or about 13 pennies per share, with the market cap now exceeding 379 billion. But the valuation is rich, very rich, that is. 276 times forward earnings. So yeah, trade that carefully. Full year 2025 revenue expected, Brendo, 4.14 to 4.15 billion, up from the earlier guide, with Q3 revenue guided 1.08 3 to 1.087, again ahead of the 983 expected by the street. And they also raised their operating income. Here's where they're making money. So U.S. revenue grew 68% over year, with commercial revenue nearly doubling, guys, which is a fantastic look because they're diversifying. But U.S. government contracts continue to grow faster, Brendo, than their U.S. commercial contracts, because that grew 53% year over year, with Alex Karp calling it crazy efficient revolution. Total contracts rose 140%. They closed 66 deals, and they have a $10 billion U.S. Army contract.
It seems like the list is a little bit longer every single quarter with Palantir, guys. We're back above right now. 172 seems to be a pivot, though.
That's the whole point of Palantir, right? It's we talked about this. We said that those numbers are going to be huge. The demand. I mean, we get the quote here from an executive: bombastic demand for their AI platform.
It's
anchored.
the Lobo.
Yeah, exactly. So it's big time. GE Aerospace, Citibank, TWG Global, Teletracking, all proving, customer satisfaction, basically. Who would have thought that 93% rise in U.S. commercial and 53% rise in government contracts? I mean, this is just getting 93%. This is, we said that valuations only matter when you miss. So they're getting pretty lofty right now, but up 7% here today. All those numbers that Sharif just mentioned, over, just everything's over. Like, if you're playing over, under, everything's over. Yep. Shares are popping right now, just 4%. We had, or sorry, 7%. We had an idea of, I thought we could go a little bit higher than this, actually, based on where we were. Remember, it doesn't have a huge short float or anything like this, but we have over an 11% move right now. If you go out to Friday's options, you have an over 11% implied move coming on Palantir. So that's another 17, like, let's just say another $20 on this. That puts us to 190. If the 11% is upside. If it's downside, then yeah, you do get back into sort of where we were, not just yesterday, but even lower than that, around that 150 marker. So yeah, I think there's going to be a very interesting couple days here of plays for Palantir. For me, it's on the sticky note. We already published that. It's now out. The sticky note right now today is littered with all big names, just because I feel like big tech is going to lead the way one more time here today. And I just wrote down 170 long if we hold it, or a pre-market long break. So we could get involved in this trade almost pretty much immediately here on PLTR. So looking to see if we break through that 173 mark. That's the pre-market high. So we'll see if that's there. It's only 9:10 right now. I have a feeling that might not be here once we get closer to the open. Remember, there's market on open orders that are going to hit as well. But that 170 just coming into some dip areas. I don't know. You never want to catch a falling knife. We were completely wrong on Starbucks, where we punched the top and then it fell back down. Let's just be diligent if we do that again. We're going to do it. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I'm here to make that trade. But if we break through 170, let's not just keep trying to catch a falling knife here, because again, could go either way, right? I mean, it's already a huge quarter. The numbers are now baked in. The guide was enormous. There's nothing wrong with this move at all, and I think it does eventually go higher. But will it go higher in the first 5 minutes? That's really the rub and what we're all waiting for, right? So
part of the issue.
Yeah.
Nvidia just went red. Tesla just went red.
I mean, the market is
been sliding down since that interview. And, you know, look, at the end of the day, like you said, the growth is growth.
Why is Nvidia getting killed?
And it really held, like, as far as I'm concerned, like, it broke out this channel we've been watching the entire time. So when it's pretty simple. You break a channel like that, technically, the pullback ultimately could go to 165 half, where that is, that channel top, and I think you go in for the long. The other place I'm looking is this afternoon. Well, it's the aftermarket resistance at 169, where it really started to hold up there right at the end of the program. So those levels I'm watching, that's where I want to buy the dip. But you're right. Like, if we lose 69, I don't want to be long 69 into 65. I want to play along there, and if it loses, I want to wait for a reversion at 165, because Palantir is the king stock when it does a deep reversion. Like, when it does some kind of a trend revert, it tends to be good for multiple days. And especially, I mean, even like that, the day that it does it, but also, you know, multiple days. So that's what we're looking for. And big earnings name after market tonight, dropping right now because the market's rolling a bit.
Yeah, AMD, Nvidia, I think is starting to lead this
Nvidia
way here, down here, 179.50. All right, let's go find out more about AMD.
Yeah, accelerating to the downside here. Here's partially why. We've talked about this move going back to the jobs report. This is the 10-year, by the way, U.S. 10-year. 2 days in a row downside. We're starting to bounce here, about to take out the open from yesterday, back to 422 on the 10-year, 30-year looking pretty much the same. There's AMD accelerating to the downside here ahead of what is to come tonight.
So we got AMD and SMCI after the bell today, Brendo. So here's what we're expecting for both. We're expecting AMD's revenue to come in at 7.42 billion, with EPS coming in at 48 pennies. That's a Q3, that's Q2 revenue. Expected now for their estimates for Q3, 8.32 billion and $1.15 EPS per share. Susquehanna raised their AMD price target to $210 from $135, basically saying they're gaining their PC server market share from Intel. Their AI strategy has also been boosted by the launch of the MI350 chips, with the MI400 chips targeting at 2026 launch. That's going to be stacked in AI servers. The stock is up 47% year to date. Super microcomputer, SMCI, we're expecting EPS to come in at 44 pennies on revenue of 5.91 billion. The EPS, though, Brendo, was revised downwards 12 times in the past 90 days, and the revenue outlook lowered as well. Full year 2025 guidance now guiding 21 and change to 22 and change for the full year revenue outlook. They're down from 23.5 to 25 billion. Q3 revenue rose 19% to 4.6 billion, but fell about 19% short. Despite all this, they see the high beat potential for Q4 as a result of the AI demand, and the EPS beat expectations 88% of the time.
Just 0.25% right now for the Nasdaq. We are in positive territory, but downside for the overall market here, guys. We're stuck within. It's worth noting as well. Past couple of days, we're stuck right in the middle of the range here for AMD. Is it hands off today?
It might, like, unless something extreme happens, it is for me. Like I already said, like I think that the Intel news is actually worse than the downgrade, as we were mentioning. So I want to fade that if we can even. I don't even know if we can get back to the $20 level. I might have to look at VWAP for that thing. But as far as AMD goes, I think you got clear resistance at 182 on an earnings day. So I'd look for a reversion if it got to 82. And then because I didn't like it till 74, you're diddling essentially in the middle. So it's. If we dip all the way down into 174, I'm going to imagine anything that takes it that far to the downside has Palantir dip buying almost. Yeah, I'll see the market getting down there, and I think there'll be opportunities elsewhere. But 174 would be the level if it really gets very negative here on AMD going into the earnings. And look, it wouldn't surprise me, like because the expectations are high and they've been continuously beating. I think there is some risk that if it's not perfect, you're going to get a pullback. It's been an unbelievable rally for AMD, no questions asked. And we had viewers that were talking about if they even got 20% of the market share of Nvidia's market share, then this should be 3 to 4x its price. We'll see if they can do that. Nvidia doesn't just get them; it keeps them. Because it's difficult to train going away from their chip. It's like once you're in, they got you. It's like Apple.
I think you're waiting to see what margins are like on some of those new chips, what the China looks like for AMD tonight. But I mean, to Brendan's point, I think it might be worth trading another name rather than AMD tonight or today, and maybe it's Nvidia is the one to play. Why is Nvidia shouldn't be red in a green market, so. Palantir just ran the highs again, by the way. So there it goes, man. 172.25 right now, up $12. But yeah, what about just a break long of Nvidia, right? I mean, if this market does eventually go off these bottoms, we could break that long. But I might just leave these two alone. We do have SMCI tonight, so that was another name. So AMD and SMCI. Yesterday's hold levels for AMD, or for Nvidia, if you can come into 178 really quickly off the open, that could be a level. But I just don't think we need to be too excited to trade any of these names right away. Let it give you the answer, right? I mean, look, even if you break this 180, 150, you got 182 right there, which is what we wrote down for a break in Nvidia, 182 long. Let's get through here. Then we start looking at all-time highs again. So I'd rather wait to see a 182 break on AMD, not 180, 150. So that's what I'm going to wait for, and then we can use maybe 180 as our out. But yeah, I'm not super excited about a lot of these chip names there today. SMCI reports, that might be one of the better, more sort of, I don't want to say juicier ones, but this is had a great break. We had Brian Shannon on talking to us all about this little breaking spot right here on SMCI. Come on, charts. Load back in right into here, 44 to 46. Once we broke through that, now it's been huge upside up to $60. So this looks like it's priced pretty close for perfection right now, SMCI. So this is another one. Watch out for 62 break if the market really gets going here today. So yeah, I'd rather look at Palantir and whatnot and Coinbase with that nice move down rather than an AMD. See, there's Palantir right there. Just took a look again at the highs. So, I would say stay where the strength is right now and let's wait for some level to develop on some of these chip names heading into a monster earnings night. There's Palantir. There it goes right there. Now it's through the highs again. 172.65 just printed. We're 20 cents away from a new high, all-time high for PLTR. This name I don't think stops today, so we'll wait.
Let's move down in the overall market, not helping HIMS either. Right back to 56 coming into play here in pretty much of a hurry. We'll see if we do get to 10% before the actual open here this morning. Earnings, not good.
No.
Pretty much a miss right across the board.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, top line miss, Brendo. They did beat on EPS. So here's how they did. 17 pennies on EPS versus the 15 expected, but the revenue missed. $4.8 million. The street wanted 552, and then you saw what happened with the price after that. Revenue did grow 73% year over year, up from $315 million last year, with net income rising nicely, $42.5 million, up from the 13.3 they printed last year, with adjusted EBITDA coming in at about $82 million. Here's what Q3 looks like. Revenue guided 570 to 590 million. The consensus is 583, with adjusted EBITDA expected to come in at 60 to 70 million. Well below, though, the 77.1 ahead. Signals possible margin compression as well as growth investments as they redistribute that cash to grow. But there is ongoing criticism over the sale of the compound GLP-1s, despite the FDA saying the shortages are resolved. These are cheaper, Brendo, unapproved knockoff versions of the weight loss drug. Hims and Her defends this, saying they're only using it in clinical exceptions for people who have allergies and that can't take the actual brand name versions. For their part, Novo Nordisk, they're not buying it. They say basically they ended the partnership. They're citing illegal compounding practices, and they accuse Hims and Hers of mass selling under false pretenses. Apparently this allergy thing, according to Novo, all made up by Hims.
Very popular stock, obviously, ticker with retail crowd as well. Just, I'm keeping an eye on Tesla here. There was a decent move down there through 308, bit of a volume spike at 308 as well. But Tesla guys down on an autopilot court verdict that went against them, if anyone's wondering.
Yeah, not the best for Tesla, because it really had a chance to break. It was holding up that 312. It had a chance to break out today. It looks like that's going to be gone. Hims, look, it's going to, 10 minutes is an eternity sometimes. So when I say it's going to open more than 10% to the downside, it's very likely, but it's not an absolute lock. $54. This is a legitimate bounce that happened on the 25th off the 54 level. And then that's where it bounced in the aftermarket. That's kind of like the Alamo for Hims. And it's tearing to the downside now. Like, it just broke through VWAP and just lost trend. It was trending back up. If it holds 54, that's where I look for an SSR bounce. And pretty much after that, maybe like 50 even for that play back into VWAP. So looking for a bottoming tail candle at that price off of the open. The fade level, I mean, what are you going to do? Like, I look at my note, I wrote 59. Just like, it's right in here. Like that 59 area into the prior high is where I wanted to fade. Well, it was at $58 just like 30 minutes ago, and it just dropped like $2.50. So I don't know if we get a chance to short that level. That's how the market works. You know, you might not get it, and I'll have to adjust plan of action. So it looks like that SSR bounce 54 probably happening first.
I think Hims is a perfect example, again, of valuation mattering, like I just started the show off with, only matters when you miss. And I mean, Hims is with 100 PE, 80 to 100, depending on where you look. I just checked two different sources there. Q2 revenue short, Q3 revenue guide under, fallout from Novo Nordisk, not too many positive stories coming from their call and their report. So you get hit down 11%. This is what happens. Like I said, it doesn't matter when all the deals are going through and they've got Novo Nordisk. And actually, this top right there was pretty great. I mean, I don't really look at this stock too often, but that was a pretty good area there. Just like that SoFi sell around $24, but the difference with SoFi is they have some pretty good tailwinds instead of headwinds. So right now, it doesn't matter, valuation doesn't matter when you go from 22 to 72, and then back again, and then again, but all of a sudden the earnings report hits and there's the story. Here's the Novo Nordisk story. So it's not good. It's not good for Hims. I don't think it holds this area, $52. I think you're going to get a reweighting here, and you could fall back into $32 to $34 reweighting on this Novo Nordisk. That's funny, but anyways, I don't like the stock. I think it's a short, and I think if you break that 54 area right here, then you're going to look even shorter. So right there, that's 55. 55 is the play. So 54, forget about those spikes down. I think you want to short this almost right off the jump. So might want to look to pay for shorts. Again, a classic case of valuation not mattering when you win on a Palantir stock and guide forward, and getting hit here on Hims to the downside. So yeah, I don't think that's anything to stand in front. Locates are free, so we don't even have to pay for shorts.
I always check on a name like Hims, because sometimes you do have to pay for shorts. You don't have to pay for shorts on Coin, as it's to the downside.
Downside we go here for Coinbase, trying to bounce off 304. It's been a rough couple of days here since earnings for Coinbase. It almost feels like they had this in their back pocket and they were hoping that the earnings reaction would have been a little bit better, and then you come with the $2 billion bond offering. But anyway, since last Wednesday, really, we've been off a cliff.
It was a miss on many different fronts there, Brendo, for the earnings report today. As you mentioned, raising $2 billion convertible senior note offering. The raise includes $1 billion due in 2029 and another billion due in 2032. Plus, though, that $150 million green shoe option for each tranche. Notes are senior unsecured. Interest is paid semi-annually, and the convertible into cash, stock, or both at Coinbase's discretion. And they're using a capped call strategy to limit dilution. So Coinbase will initiate capped call transactions to offset the dilution from the note conversion. These transactions are sort of designed to protect equity holders and reduce the share issuance risk. A portion of the proceeds will also go to fund capped calls, a move seen as shareholder friendly. Last but not least, the use of the funds, Brendo. The remaining funds will support working capital, CapEx, investments, acquisitions, and or debt repurchases.
This is a look at Bitcoin right now on a 15-minute chart. We are bouncing off that initial flush back above 114, guys, holding that pre-market low so far.
Yeah, coin, we always talk about the 3-day rule and like just letting it calm down. I think this is going to be much better in the 200s, like the high 200s, looking at about 275 into the 200 period moving average. They're getting beaten up. Like there's going to be some concerns over competition, like, you know, Robinhood, obviously. It's like, okay, anything coin is doing, Robinhood's going to try to do as well. And Robinhood's pretty popular, everybody. So you can't ignore that end of it. Missing, like we said, it's just not the right environment to be missing, and you're getting beaten up doing that. It's trend down. I mean, really, at the end of the day, I said 311. Well, in my note, I was like 311. This is what happens. Like, you dropped another 8. You dropped like $5, I think, from the bottom here. You could still get to the 311. It's just the prior low was what I was looking at for a fade. It's like an over-under kind of play. Like, if it reestablishes 311, then to me that signals that the offering is accepted, or being accepted by the market. And if we hold underneath that prior low, then you want to play into the short side. So that's what I'm watching for here on Coinbase. And Robinhood, just very quickly, because I think Robinhood was a beast move for the last couple of days off the lows. It's been a huge dip, and then rest of the day rally. So today, 103 on Robinhood, like this consolidation area, and then the 100 level, kind of the obvious consolidation areas to look for that dip and rip that Hood's been doing.
I'm trying to get some orders set up here to get ready if this market goes. We do have the imbalances out right now. There's HIMS was a sell.
QBTS.
So you're getting to the downside there. QBTS is a nice buy, but that's only at $17. The Nasdaq is the interesting one to me here. This is the TQQ. So someone put in a decent sell order right here. So that's, you know, could create some negativity here in the overall broader market of the Nasdaq, which does, you know, affect my Microsoft play and things like that. I wrote down on the sticky note, just because yesterday our biggest trade was Apple and it wasn't on the board, so I just want to talk about this. What about a 540 break here for MSFT? This name continues to work out great for the longs. It's been a huge move yesterday. Good opportunity for Microsoft to get back to the upside. But again, you're going to have to pay the piper on the spread. So that's going to be something that you're going to have to watch out for with Microsoft. But yeah, no, with the Nasdaq pulling down here, Microsoft kind of holding out. So I don't mind that play. And then interesting to hear, we're going to talk about FIG in a minute, which FIG yesterday was a monster trade. We talked about that, missing the 110. Well, we'll go over that in a second. But there's Tesla way red against the market. It's not a huge red day, but down 0.6 versus up market. Yeah, not giving me good feels about that 312 break anymore either. Maybe we do come back in and test low 3 bills here on Optimus, and you know, some of that excitement coming out of Elon Musk from yesterday and that big huge pay package. So yeah, I'll put the I see you guys asking. I'll put the link to the sticky note in the chat right now. But Nvidia, Palantir, Tesla, Microsoft, AMD, SMCI. It's all big cap names today. For me, we'll look at open, and we will be trading
tomorrow for sure.
Tomorrow for sure, but even today, and then we also have a good look with Upstart, Rivian, and the other one. Lucid tonight. Thanks. So lots going on. All right, with only 1 minute left, or a minute and a half before open, let's go find out some more about Figma.
I was trying to bounce early on this morning in the pre-market, trying to head back to the downside right now. I think you're going to hear more and more of these types of stories. This is just one of many, I'm sure. 86 million into 6 billion on the Figma IPO for a VC firm. I mean, there's no news today. It's just right back down. Everything pretty much gone.
Yeah. I've got more data on some of the shares here in the lockup period, so we'll talk about that. So Figma debuted on 31st, opening at $85 a share after pricing at 33. We also know what happened after that. The current IPO, though, boom, Brendo, we've got over 200 IPOs so far in 2025. It's only intensified. The FOMO, July was the hottest IPO month this year. Here's the deal, though, with Figma. Only 4.2 million shares are actually tradable right now, with 410 million shares being locked up for another 6 months. That's the IPO lockup period. That remains volatile. The volatility risk remains high until insider can sell. A secondary offering is likely coming, according to analysts, and Figma trades at 133 times forward. The forward PE here, making it pricier than Snowflake or even Nvidia.
Yeah, we'll see if we can hold some of these key levels, guys, heading into the open today. Best of luck. Let's head over to Daryl.
Tuesday, big earnings day, of course, and let's see how we go. Not good for Coin, but certainly good for Palantir. Adara, ring it in 2 and 1. Let's go.
All right, thank you, Adara. All right, so here goes Palantir, now 172. We do have that order to break through the pre-market high, which is going to be 173. I'm just going to wait for that. Really, it's 80s, but let's just see if it goes right now. We could get, it's not going to be a huge, there it is. Okay, we're in it. I was going to say it's not going to be a huge trade because we could get some kind of a fake and wake and bake. So we're going to wait to see what winds up happening right here. So there it is. It does break that pre-market high, but now it looks like it wants to fade back.
Open?
Hims, I don't know. It looks like Palantir does want to fade back. We are long at 173. Here comes 170 real quick. So a real quick sort of rinse.
Bid, give me.
Yeah, right here. It's a nice little drop down into the bid right now for Palantir. But we said that we're not going to sit here and watch ourselves get rinsed out. So be careful with this Palantir move to the downside right now. Not great at all. And that's, I mean, reminding me of that Starbucks play where we punched along and then sat in it and got killed on the way down. So let's just take some more out here. We were pretty patient with it. Our average price is 172. So it's definitely not the end of the world type of trading right now. But we are going to get a little bit out as Palantir gets pretty busy with it right now to the downside.
Yeah, it just, wow, okay, well, it's more or less the same thing. I just got 70 to 71.
Oh, now we're huge on it, dude. Now we're huge on it. Let's go, Neil. What do you got going on over there?
No, I tried to get more. The guy was sitting, I was sitting at all the way down to 170. I only got one fill.
Boom.
170 levels. That's absolutely flying now. We'll try to catch the next available dip. Hims is open and absolutely flying as well. Tesla is tanking, AMD is tanking. What an unbelievable rally. We didn't talk much about Figma, but we'll get there in just a quick little second. Oh, I can't believe I didn't.
Oh my, Neil. This is starting to be a monster trade right there for Palantir. We stuck with it, man. We took the pre-market high and we take 170. So, I mean, Palantir is now huge, $4 now in the money, as there goes PLTR. And yeah, man, I mean, we didn't take as many shares as we maybe could have. We're up pretty much what we were yesterday on Apple on this trade right now. I mean, having faith in the idea, and I mean, great pick up there on the low side for Neil as well. I mean, I appreciate your patience on that one.
Not enough.
No, it's never enough. But I mean, I busted through the top.
I thought 100% I was getting. I thought 100% I was getting filled.
Oh, what did you? But you did get something.
No, but I didn't get my 22. Look, if I'm bidding in front of an even dollar level, you know my order is usually at 22 or 12.
I might just cancel every other order.
This stock is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Welcome to Alex Karp's land.
Goodness. Amazon. Oh, say it ain't so, Amazon. I shouldn't have waited. We should have just bought it this morning. We said we'd wait one more day. Amazon's flying to the upside too. Tesla's absolutely tanking. AMD and Nvidia are going to have to go and wait for another moment because AMD, there's a tank. Nvidia, basically the same chart. Here, everybody. Hims did bounce, but not off 54. Yeah. It bounced off 55. So I was looking at 54 from a few days ago, and it looks like 55 is the level here on HIM to the end.
Yeah, yes. Man. A couple good. We got some outs. Our best out there for Palantir would be one of our last outs, of course. 175.80. 175.79 is our highest out there on Palantir. Let's see if we can make another high in PLTR. Wow, what a day there. Always should be taking more shares, but that was a little risky because we punched long there off the open at 173. We said we would do that, and then we also said we wanted to dip by 170. I mean, again, it's exactly. And I'll keep touting the sticky sticky note because every day I'm writing down the notes, and those are the trades that I'm taking. We get questions about like, why did you do that, or why did you do this? I mean, we wrote them down. We take the trades that we wanted to, and that's 70 dip buy. We said that, hey, if we can get a dip buy opportunity into 170, we'll take that. My best long down there, I got 170.35s. So it looks like, Neil, you were just pennies away like Tesla yesterday, where we both missed that by a couple of cents.
I think, because
it still had a nice tank right off
Tesla's
the
a
open.
$300 stock. I feel like when you miss it,
yeah,
it does. Look, they're both movers.
It's hard on earnings because I learned my lesson with Starbucks,
when the buyer,
it smoked. Go ahead, yeah.
No, like when the buyers come in, like it can be fast and furious. But like you said, you always have to move on to the next.
You never know.
I'm gonna
tank now.
I don't know about VWAP because VWAP's just a line on a chart, but HIMS is making another run at that low. Just it lost the volume weighted average price on its own, so obviously it's going to be SSR. I'll look to see if it can give you some kind of a, if it doesn't break the low, there's only one place it can go. That's the saying I use for stocks that are down 10%, right? Like if it does not break the low of the day, then that's the place I want to look for it for that SSR bounce. AMD, I can't believe I said there's no chance. I don't know if I said no chance. I said it was very unlikely, and I didn't put it on my note because the only level I liked was 174. So whatever, we're not going to get there. Not going to bother. It's at 175 on AMD right now and down 1% and still looking relatively weak. Tesla could see 300. This is complete.
I mean, the market is about to go red, which is kind of like we're sitting here trading Palantir and it's going up.
The market was chilling out, and that interview this morning was pretty much the moment when the market started to look weak. Let's be real about this. I did like one thing short, and this makes absolutely no sense to me, but for reasons unknown to anybody but Intel, it's actually up while the market's going down. So this is going to require a lot of patience because I don't think it makes any sense to me. The rest of the chip space is down and it's going up. So as it goes into that 20 level that I want to short, we got to be real patient for this. But I do want to be short. I'm going to wait for it to get into the 90s as best I can because why this is going up when the market's going down doesn't make sense. Well, so I've think about the market when the chips are going down.
Yeah, it's funny because that was your short idea. This is the funny thing about the market, man. It's like you never know which way it's going to go. I'm going to try DraftKings. Huge move down here for DKNG. Right now fell into some sort of a support level here for DraftKings. We're going to try to see if we can hold for just above right here, 44.25. Sure, there's some garbage trades that were underneath there on Friday. We understand that. Nice move higher there. But DraftKings, I mean, the trajectory is lower, but we're going to take the shot right there. Long on DK. Okay, it's working out. Long right now on DKNG. Let's take that advantage and just get a little bit out here. Maybe a little bit higher, but okay, we'll take it now. 64.65 is good trade alert right now for DraftKings, but it's Palantir that just fell through the floor a little bit now. I'm going to take something out at 171. So we were getting out all the way down on this move, right? We'll take a little bit out right now because I am worried that we do break that 170 mark, and when we do, I think we should be getting out of Palantir. Now, the other thing about this trade is we are almost out of it all anyways. So right now, if I do the math, we're in about 15% left, so I guess we still have a decent amount left. Did pretty good to get out near the top side, but again, on earnings, we've seen this happen before. Starbucks gave us a bottom at some point that was worth reloading and taking, so that's a good one to maybe look forward to. But there goes DraftKings again. Oh boy, man, we got it again here. DKNG, there it is, man. We'll take the 79 right there. Good trade alert. I hope you guys heard me mention that I was taking DraftKings down there, 44.50s right now, so that's a nice higher move right there for DKNG. And there we go, man. We said that Palantir had that opportunity to do something again, and there it is, man. It is doing something. It's trying to go back upside right now. We like this trade right here for PLTR today. Nice higher play on that one. But DraftKings, I'm most impressed with because that was a name that we didn't have on our list. Just fell in, and we grabbed it. DKNG. Let's go Donkey Kong right now. Maybe we'll have to trade some Nintendo. Damn, Sharif, man, that little mix that he always has here smells pretty nice in the morning. So shout out to Sharif and everybody else. Oh, it's Adair's time. What's up?
Congratulations to Sean in that trade, and congrats to PLTR, which is now the 20th largest publicly listed U.S. company. So great look here for PLTR. I also want to talk about CommScope here, small cap runner on watch, COMM. Today getting an upgrade from Morgan Stanley to equal weight with a $17 price target. That comes after yesterday's rally, which happened when Amphenol announced that it's acquiring the company's connectivity and cable business solutions. So not their whole business, but an aspect of their business for $10.5 billion. Good day two look with a price target increase to boot. For COMM, just be aware here, guys, we do have some numbers coming through at 9:45 a.m. S&P Services and Composite PMI. Then we'll get the more closely watched PMI print, the ISM Services PMI at 10 a.m. Lots of numbers. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Dara. I didn't hit the key because I'm not on the right page. I know we say I should always hit that key when we have it, because it's not often that you get thanked by the president personally. I think we should always celebrate it when it does happen. No, Intel just broke through the 20 level. So, I've only have one trade, Palantir, and then another one here in Intel. I'm not seeing anything that looks any good over in AMD.
Look at this
about this ridiculous bounce. You've got to be kidding me. So it holds on to, like I said, 174. So I went to try to nibble at 175, but I like 174. It's just bounced off 175. That can be, it can be frustrating. By the time I made the decision, let's step it up here because we're not going to get our level, it's absolutely flying and flying higher. Tesla's doing a little bit of a recovery, but my goodness, these Mag 7 names. We saw Amazon earlier. Now Google's going as well. So the strength is definitely abound. Like Amazon up 2%. Snooze, you lose. Like you want to. We talked about this yesterday. It's like, that 200 period moving average. If you like Amazon, isn't that close enough? Feels like it's close enough. I'm mad because it definitely looks like it's close enough to me. But we'll get a chance to buy that, whatever. For the long term, it doesn't really matter when you pick it up at the end of the day. You miss it by a couple bucks, 1%, who cares? But HIMS, that's starting to get to the upside. It looks like it bounced pretty nicely. SSR bounce on HIMS is already at the highs. So let's wait for it. It might get to this 59 to 60 is where we like that one to the south side for the short. And I do see Nvidia up there, but I was hunting that 174 in AMD and really didn't even have a level that I was preferring a dip buy on Nvidia. Just to be real with you, it was way too far away from anything on NVDA. So yeah, it's up at 180 trying to go green again, but this got on sympathy, it was weird, on sympathy to Palantir, this got up to like 181 in the aftermarket. What does it have to do with Palantir?
Right.
It's just the AI space.
Yeah.
That's what we're discussing. Don't try to rationalize it too much. It's not like it's just the AI space, and so Nvidia tends to get a bounce on that, and it looks like it's continuing here. But absolute nonsensical move. Palantir back up to 175.
Yes, let's go,
and this
Palantir.
AMD running into the resistance at VWAP, but it's HIMS that I still want.
Palantir's going to take out highs right now. I mean, Palantir's 175 again.
176 is a high.
Trying to go. Yeah. I think he's going to take it out. Let's just wait to see. We should have reloaded there at the 200 period moving average, but again, we're a little bit nervous on that. We have less than 10% left of our Palantir trade. We just got some more outs here at that 174, 174.50 area. DraftKings. Oh boy, we're going 2 for 2 pretty large right now. DraftKings a nice move there, up to 44.90. Yesterday, I think we didn't put on a losing ticker. We did have a couple losing trades, but overall, yesterday was a good day. Today's even better so far. But let's go over to Adair to find out what the news is.
You just keep an eye here on GeoOGL. Earlier today, we had Bloomberg reporting that the company, as well as OpenAI and Anthropic, have been added to the federal AI vendor list. Now we actually have confirmation from the government that OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic have been added to this list of approved federal AI suppliers. So I just want to mention that report from earlier has now been confirmed with an official announcement from the U.S. government. Back to you.
Okay, that makes sense.
We like that. We like the U.S. government news there. Global services PMI coming out right here at 9:45. And again, if you go over, whoa, there it is. Okay, I'm just watching out for this Palantir play again, potentially coming in. One more time up to 174. But yeah, DraftKings trying to break through $45, so we'll have to watch out for that play coming in again. But yeah, so far so good here today. Our Microsoft has not hit. It's actually went to the downside. Was debating buying some Microsoft down into here, but we were waiting for a 540 break, so I have canceled that trade now. It just hasn't been working out, so we're going to wait. And there's what we're talking about. There's Palantir trying to go back through 175 right now. My offer is at 195 in the PA. To get out of about 20% of what we have left in our, well, it's not a swing account anymore because we've had this trade forever, but it's in my TFSA, so that's a tax-free savings. So hopefully you don't have to pay any tax on this move higher there. Shout out to the lovely country of Canada for implementing TFSA.
Everyone should have TFSA.
Right there. Yeah, I don't think most countries.
No, I know most. The U.S. doesn't have them. But
there it goes right now, 175 quarters, right back to highs again for Palantir. And again, it's pretty simple kind of stuff, man. Palantir, beat. We actually also talked about that. We put it out here, two names going opposite ways, both with huge valuations. Hims misses, Palantir beats, upside. There's Palantir. Wait for the long, 170 long, 170 long. The bottom's 170.30. We have that. Great quarter plus strong pre-market. Look for the breakout into the pre-market breakout. So that pre-market break higher was 173 or so. So that's that take rate there. Worked great. Does fade out. Have to support the bid. Going higher. Palantir for now. We'll talk about some more names, but just Palantir really excited for now.
Yeah, Coin, speaking of one of those, Coin did have an offering. We'll see how it gets. Look, the earnings are probably weighing on Coinbase just as much as this offering this morning, because Coinbase has been trending down for the last couple of days. I said I need to wait for it to get into the prior support. That's 311. It got to pretty much exactly 311 and curled. I did not get a good fill coming down in, so I had to step down a little bit. It really faded through 310, and I got 309.5. But I wanted the 310 getting through so I could give it the room to 11. I'll allow it to play back up and try to catch a fill above 310 so we get a reload. Trend break on Coinbase. But the market is starting to curl a little bit here as we go and get that number in seconds, Adara.
Yeah, let's find out what these numbers are going to be. S&P Services PMI, 55.2 forecast versus 55.2 previous. Same with the composite PMI, 54.6 forecast, 54.6 previous. The more closely watched number, which is the ISM Services PMI that comes out at 10 a.m. S&P Services PMI higher than expected, 55.7 versus 55.2 expected. S&P Composite PMI, 55.1 versus 54.6 expected. So both of these numbers above estimates. Nice attempt here to push higher and maybe break this top resistance on the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Looking pretty similar here. So S&P 500 and Nasdaq may be poised to make another leg higher as we do get better than expected, or I guess higher than expected, S&P Services and Composite PMI, 10 a.m. services, ISM Services PMI, coming through in about 15 minutes. Back to you.
I mean, as if we are the Palantir. We said Palantir was going to go to 176. We just took a 176 out right there. So again, just on a pre-market high break, there she goes, Palantir. I keep on refreshing our stream, and honestly, it's like I can't even, just keeps on showing back and forth that little short that we have, but there it is right now. So I want to make sure that we have enough people watching this, over 10,000 of you right now. Hit the like and hit the subscribe for us, man. I mean, a couple banger trades right now. Neil's got the short there on Coinbase. We've got $6 in the money on Palantir. I mean, I don't know, this is why. It literally says right here, our highlight right on the show, Palantir Soars. We have $6 right now in the money on this name. So, I mean, yeah, it's soaring. You're here for Palantir. And there it goes, man. Nice move to the upside. And we are taking out some more. DraftKings right now have 30% left of this name. It's the only one that we're working with, that I'm working with right now. Let's have a quick look at another name. I know you're in Coinbase. We're going to explain that in a minute. Tesla, nice move down there to 305 again. We had written down 305 yesterday. Not so much today, but a nice dip buy opportunity there for TSLA. Now it's trying to get back. Look at the market, man. Palantir, just get on my back, baby. Right there, it's taking the whole thing with it. There goes the market. There goes Palantir. There goes Tesla back up through 310. Remember, the market's opened up slightly bullish there, but we almost went red at some point. But still, positive AI story today, again, leading the market forward. And then we said that we were going to leave AMD alone. I think that was probably a good move. I mean, look at the direction of AMD, went down to 175 there, but what a huge recovery spot. And if you traded AMD today properly, I mean, it fell right into yesterday's low before Rip City again. So shout out to Richard Hamilton and everything like that. But nice move up there to 177 for AMD. Nvidia, I mean, the AI story is still intact. There it goes right now, 178.50 coming in for AMD. Or sorry, we actually talked about this level, I think, in the pre-market, right around here. Now, it might have been right here.
74.
Yeah, 74 was low, but this level right there, 178 for dip buy. I know I mentioned that. I didn't get that low, but just Nvidia and all these names look to rebound off of that. I'm actually going to flip the script and go short. I think, on Nvidia, because it's not taking out some of those levels, man. I thought Nvidia would have gone a little bit more than where we are right now. So let's be patient with it, but I still do like Nvidia, but for now it may be a short. And we were just $6 in the money. We cleaned out some more up there at 176. Let's do one more little bit of housekeeping right now in the 80s, if we can get that on Palantir. And a couple good, there we go. Oh, we're just at 83 and got missed. Okay, hopefully it comes, there it is. Well, we didn't get missed that time. Nice play there. But let's go talk about your Coinbase.
Yeah, I'm frustrated. First, I have to.
Oh, it came
You
out.
put out a note, and I said I want the SSR bounce on HIMS. If it doesn't break the low, there's only one place to go. The thing about that trade, and it's not an easy execution, because if the bottoming tail happens at 9:30, exactly at the open, it's always trickier. Most of the times, I'm expecting to get that like 5-10 minutes, and you can work in and all that kind of good stuff. But it essentially gave that false break right at 9:30. So if you didn't take it right away, you had absolutely no chance. The Coinbase was the other one that we wanted, essentially right off the 311 level. That one at least was the execution I want. Like, I want it breaking trend and then give it a shot to go. So I'm shorting it here. I said I wanted 310, but I had halves. So I waited to 310 and then give my stop right up to the top. So pretty much the same story as always. But it's frustrating on HIMS. There's not much you can do about it, because I think I can only look at one thing right at the open at a time. And Palantir had just come into that 170 for the buy. And AMD, look, it's turning at 78 here. This might be a bit of a trend break. But as I said, I want to stick to the plan of action. And HIMS with the target area was 59 to 61 for a reversion. If I miss the long, then I don't want to miss the back end of the trade, which would be the reversion in this area, 59 into 61. It has to be a trend break for me. It's ripping faces off right now. HIMS has just gone 10%. Went from down well over double digits to down 5% here, and rallying like a bat out of you know what. Let's go to Adara.
Yeah.
If this doesn't break trend, I don't go short. This is a runaway freight train here.
Just keep an eye here on these energy names as well. I'm just seeing here Wells Fargo Investment Institute lowering the energy sector rating to neutral from favorable for commodities. XOM making days lows, CVX struggling a bit as well. So keep an eye on these energy plays. I wanted to mention right now, though, DigitalOcean, DOCN, a smaller earnings day one play making big moves. This one did beat on Q2 EPS and sales. Their guidance for fiscal 2025 well above estimates. Q3 guidance pretty solid as well. So DOCN on watch. About 10 minutes now until we get the ISM services PMI. Back to you.
Okay, so again, a couple good numbers.
PMI.
A couple good numbers came at 9:45. We'll see if we can sort of,
It's not a huge number.
Yeah, we'll see if we can continue the good feels here for all of that. And I want to thank everybody again for watching and for hitting that like button. I mean, we asked you at 700 and we're now at 900. Let's see if we can get this to 1500. I think that's a much more reasonable number right there. Hit the like and subscribe. Get into the chat, by the way. Oh, here, let's do this today. We didn't do this yesterday. At least on our show we didn't. I don't remember doing it. All right, so I'm going to refresh this. This is a fresh start. So you can go right now. It's Palantir, it's AMD, it's SMXT. We'll have a quick look at what that's doing as well. Neil's been on looking at HIMS a little bit. He talked about Coinbase a couple times. Let's just refresh this. Right now you can get it going. So type in whatever you want, but do $. Get into the chat. We'll have a look like Big Bear AI right now up 2%. That's cool. So there goes Big Bear AI. Google up another 1% today as well. As the votes start popping in here, everybody, this will populate and we will be able to double check this. So get it going right now. This is the live stock visualizer. I like what it's called. And we get going there. MP, I know Neil's talked about that a little bit throughout the day. Reddit wants to be talked about again. Some of these names starting to go upside right now. Nvidia down to 179 and change. I think that's a short. I think I'm going to try to look for some shorts there in NVDA. It hasn't been trading that well. I'm going to take one more piece out right now in the 30s for Palantir, and then I have no more offers. I have one at 176.50 if we break through that, but let's just see if we can get back up to there. DraftKings has fallen back in a little bit, a lot of bit right now. We only have, I'll talk about what we have on this, then I'll throw it back over to Neil. 25% still on DraftKings. That's the only short, the only position that we have left. that we need to work some out on. Palantir, we have less than 10%, so all good right there. Nvidia, Neil, might break the lows, so I don't know if you're looking at other chip names, but.
It is looking like it. I am looking at a couple of the chip names, but the reversion play just came in at that 61 level. So I said we wait till 61 to take a shot at it, so I take my shot there. It's $3 to VWAP.
Boom.
On HIMS. So again, I'll give it 40 to 50 pennies to try to capture that, but I'm not looking to give it more. If it doesn't work at 61, then I'm waiting till it gets to 64. That's another $3 higher. But this is the one I'm absolutely hunting on. The other, of course, is going to be, look, AMD, oddly enough, it continues to be relatively strong compared to Nvidia. So I'm liking, like I like 174. We're not going to get 174 barring Nvidia breaking that low of the day. If it does, I think we have a shot. We're going to have to look for the continuation play on advanced micro devices. So around the volume weighted average price, afternoon support sits at 176.5. That's where I want to look to pick it up. So it's really just HIMS. I mean, HIMS, AMD, that's where I'm still looking at. And as far as I'm concerned, like you've got pretty much everything flying. Like Tesla is also about to break out.
Oh my God.
Which is nuts because I did throw Tesla on my note again for the breakout. The breakout failed through 312 yesterday, but you just have to be able to get out of it right away. Like I think Tesla breaking through this level, it's a huge resistance. It's worth the shot, and we say this with levels like this all the time. I'm generally willing to take it 2 or 3 times on any kind of a key breakout area, and if it doesn't work 3 in a row, fair enough. But if it works once, that should be enough. That's the way that I like to work it. So Tesla, yesterday the 312 didn't work. You had ample time to get out of it before it fell all over itself. You just lost 50 pennies you should lose here. Well, at least that's what I try to risk. But if you're risking over $1, that's up to you. I'm going to take this 312 break once again. And as I said, we'll have to be patient with AMD and wait for the reversion on HIMS. Because I still believe that one, I think it's going to come back at some point, but I'm not willing to just short the same level a million times. Got to wait for the trend break. Tesla just broke the 312 level.
Oh, really?
Looks like this time it's going.
Oh, no, I should be long.
See,
that.
this is weird, man. I keep getting fills that I shouldn't get. I'm not complaining about getting a 312 even fill, but what it suggests to me is like when is my stop getting thrown out that I'm not getting above 312? It's like I'm getting it after it's already broken and come back in.
Yeah, so I went long here as well. I had that trade as well, so it's a good thing that you just sort of mentioned that because I wanted to make this right now. I punched quarters, like I punched into it, so I don't have that same experience. But I had that yesterday too. I got a great, no, but I think it's just great fills. I got a great fill on something. Yes, it was Apple where I got a great fill on. So I don't know. Sometimes the trades will come
Shout out
through,
to Edge,
and sometimes they won't. Yeah, I use Fox River, so I don't know. Yeah, so a dip buy opportunity may be coming through for Tesla. We did average in, so I'm long now on Tesla. Again, we're taking the sticky note trades that we write down 312, although I don't really, like I said, I'm a little bit weary about where this market is right now because we just made some highs. We got the number coming out soon, so that should be something as well. Right, they were above that 23.3 on the Nasdaq that we had yesterday. But yeah, that's what we're working with right now. Still 450 in the money right there on Palantir. DraftKings, let's go, man. Give it up for that one. That's here. You guys wanted this in the chat.
Another one.
So it's another one. It's another day. That should say another day right now because I mean, I'm not here this Friday again, but we're here again today, tomorrow, and on Thursday. Yeah, she has hockey this Friday.
Oh, right. No, you.
And then we have more. We have another baseball game this weekend, and then another baseball tournament next weekend, as well as we start to get wrapped up a little bit here. In all that, we talked about that with the draft. I have to leave a game, so I'm leaving one of the games. We have 2 games on Saturday. Our draft is Saturday, isn't it? So we have 2 games on Saturday.
Yeah, this year's
one
Saturday.
is
Sunday.
One is like at 9 in the morning or 10 in the morning, and then the other one's at 3 or 4. And then our draft is trying to start at 1 or so. So I'm gonna. I got assistant.
It's not starting at 1 o'clock.
I got assistant coaches, baby. Yeah, but our boy has a pool. He's got the barbecue. I'd rather the draft not even happen, man. Let's just chill out all the time. I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. All right, so there goes Tesla. I don't know if you have a plan of action on that.
No, I said my stop was underneath 311.5. It got the farthest it got was to 312.50. It is 1-to-1, but I only took out a third of the position. So it ends up a loser because I only took out a third. HIMS did make a second reversion off the 61 level, but the way the market is moving and with all these earnings, you're going to want to take advantage of the excess volatility. A way to do that for savvy Canadian investors is to Boost your exposure by tapping into the Nasdaq 100 and S&P 500 with Beta Pro's 3X daily leveraged ETFs featuring built-in FX hedging. This aims to amplify short-term market moves and minimize the impact of currency swings. Whether you're feeling bullish, bearish, something in between, these ETFs are built for active day traders ready to take on the markets. Read the full risk disclosure and prospectus at betapro.ca before investing. Can't stress that enough. And for everyone out there, we always say these have decay, so they are great trading vehicles, not something you necessarily want to invest in. So there's Tesla, just like yesterday. Well, maybe not just like yesterday, because yesterday it didn't give you anything. It gave you some profit into 312, but I never want to play breakout all the way back in. I want to play breakout and try to get a new trade off of the prior lows. It's just my modus operandi. It's the way I like to play it for sure. I see people mentioning Intel. Once that broke 20, are you kidding me? Bad news, downgrade, issues with their chips. And this has found the bottom again at $19. So it was a credit downgrade, by the way. I don't think it was like a credit downgrade that they got. So it wasn't like a standard, no price target cut or anything like that I'm aware of. But Intel, 4% to the upside and still running. I can play the patience game with Intel. It's not till it gets above 21 that I think you've broken away and gone absolutely ham, but I'm willing to be patient. A couple of days ago, reversion when Intel was easily my best trade, so I want to wait for that opportunity and see if we can't sniper it. But if it's over 20, I wait for like 20 half or 21, and it seems like it's going to be the 21 level. Big time mover on Intel. I get it, not everyone likes to trade that stock, but let's just say it can give you good trading opportunities here. So Tesla, if the break doesn't work, I'm looking for a dip buy into the volume weighted average price. We do have happening now with Adara. It's already 10 o'clock, everybody. Wow, time flies.
Your time flies here in this market. It's in just under 30 seconds that we're going to get the ISM Services PMI. 51.5 is the forecast. We're expecting to be slightly above the previous print of 50.8. We're also getting here ISM Services prices paid and ISM Services employment. These are less closely watched. Also notable here, apparently at 10 a.m., the Pfizer earnings call begins. So if you're trading PFE, be on watch in 1 and 2 seconds here. We're going to be getting the ISM Services PMI. It is just coming through, so this is below estimates, 50.1. Not only is that below the forecast of 51.5, it's also below the previous of 50.8. So again, 50.1 for ISM Services PMI. ISM Services prices paid a little bit above estimates. ISM Services employment, we don't have estimates for that, but it's a bit below the previous print. The market dropping here on that lower than expected ISM Services PMI. That comes after higher than expected S&P Services and Composite PMI. So interesting mixed look there. Himsender's held really great bounce here off of that $55 level. This one gapped down on earnings. They had earnings beat, but sales miss, and then really mixed guidance across the board. Palantir, of course, the biggest earnings name of the day by far, but HIMS also making some moves. Figma on watch as well. This is only its fourth day of trading. Dropped down by more than 20% yesterday. Today, a little bit choppier. Let's see how it performs. There's no shortage of stocks to watch, no matter what you're looking at. So make sure to join us every single day and hit the like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content as we send you back to Sean and Neil.
Yeah, so we had DraftKings fall out of bed there pretty good. All the way back down, breaks that bottom of the day. And then we got out there breaking 44.30, 44.25 was our last out. So up and down right there. So we'll slap a fail on the reload over there. I came back and just got a water there, and Neil mentioned that there was a buyer at 310. I mean, that's where our stop.
No, 310 half, sorry.
310 half, it doesn't matter anyways, right there now. But
that guy just broke.
Yeah, he's gone. So we are going long at 310 anyways there on Tesla. So if this does fall back out, we did have some orders upside, so we'll get some outs as it does come back up. But right now we're going to watch out for Tesla breaking back down below 310. Doesn't look that healthy on some bad and then we said it too. We should have been shorting. I said we wanted to go over and flip over to the short on Nvidia. I think it's still available. So I don't want to count that out as a trade just quite yet. But we may take a dollar hit here on Tesla. I mean, we're able to get something out at 1140s, 1150s, but Tesla right now at risk of a drop for sure, with the market kind of not feeling that ISM number. So I might just take a little bit. Let me take Let me offer a little bit again at 111.50 or so. If we're able to get that out, then we'll take a little bit more. But right now, yeah, it's not looking great here for this play. So, you know, Tesla in danger right now. We could put on a losing trade. That's very possible, and that could be it right now with TSLA. Palantir, whatever, man. We got a bunch out. We're less than 10, way less than 10. We're like 5%. We're less than 5%, about 5% left on PLTR. Let me just do a quick look before I go back over to Neil just to see what's leading the way here so I can sort of gear up to see what we want to talk about. So, all right, let's talk about Big Bear. I'll throw it to Neil, but then I'll talk a little bit about Big Bear AI after that. Google looks like it does want to fall back in. There's Palantir 175 right now and getting higher. Palantir's got a bump for some reason. So let's just go over there and have a quick look. There's Palantir with a nice move higher. Wow, okay. I don't know what just happened with Palantir, but I'm going to take an opportunity, bang, to register that as a dub. Well, it's been nothing but dubs on PLTR today, but there it goes, man. 176, we'll take it again. This name was just down at VWAP, man, down at 174, and there's a $2 move higher right there. We just need to get that in Tesla, and then we cooking with gas. But for right now, Tesla looks like it wants to burn us one last time, and there it goes to the downside. Tesla takes it out. We'll fail that one. So there we go, man. We are human. We do take an L there on Tesla, breaking back down through 312.
Yeah, 312.
310.
Well,
312 was the area we liked.
2 days in a row that it's failed that 312 break. You know what? If it does it tomorrow, I'll probably take another shot at it, but I never want to give it more than that 50 pennies on Tesla. That said, Coinbase, speaking of 50 cents, that's exactly what the spread opens up. Every time it breaks an even dollar level, spread's opening up. The downside of catching a reversion trade is you are on a thin stock or a spready stock, as like Adara would like to say. It's so much easier to get fill on the way up than it is on the way down if you're trying to short. That goes without saying, but it can lead to frustration. Right at our 310 area, we failed 311, broke the trend from the pre-market right here at VWAP, and are now heading lower on Coinbase. I'm trying to get fill. I just left my order in. I just give it a shot. Like, it can bounce $1 and pick me up here, and then we're back into the same trade from before on Coin. This market's really starting to roll over, and I'm looking at, all right, here's looking at you. We said we're patient, wait for an actual other side of the trend. On Intel, I liked $20, so I shorted it in the 90s, but now it's actually breaking the trend line. So if we're looking for places that we wanted to go into the short, this is breaking trend. Coin's already broken trend. HIMS, on the other hand, which I do like for a trend break as well. This is just, it's just all green candles on the 3-minute. It's not showing any signs of abating here. That's the thing with a squeeze play. And we talked about this with Michael Noss. We talked about this with Steve Teilman. Like, ultimately, sometimes nothing matters except for who was caught off sides. I know the earnings weren't that good, but apparently shorts still need to cover on HIMS. Insane.
Yeah, we're trying to be a little bit more patient here with Tesla. I don't know. I want to give it some kind of room, but I don't want to give it like a huge amount of room. I'm going to give this one. Oh, shoot, I just lost my pending order. All right, I want to give this one to 309.50. It looks like, if it breaks lower, then we're just going to get out. Okay, it looks like it's going to go. We'll try it. We don't have a huge amount of shares, but it will be our second L right now, 310.30s. I just thought that there was an opportunity here. We're back to the 200 period moving average. We just washed through 310 and then bounced back. So we tried to play the actionable trade back through 310 again. So that's where we're long, but it doesn't look like it wants to go. If anything, it's going to just tick us just a little bit lower here, a couple more pennies, and we are out. Now remember, I have the stop order in already, so if it ticks out, it ticks out, and that's that, right? So we can't do anything about that. If it breaks lower on us, we are out. So that's what that play is for me right now on Tesla. We just got our stop orders in. Other than that, let's have a look. We did hear the president today talk quite negative, I guess it was quite negatively. I don't know if JP Morgan is really still feeling some kind of ways about that, but there it is to the downside. I mean, it started to go a little bit here in the pre-market with not much volume down into this 293, as he said that the banks have not been treating him fairly, poor guy, but still a nice move down there for 291 now and change. JP Morgan down 0.9, not great. Okay, here we go, Neil. There goes Tesla, man. We're starting to put some damage back on the board now as we did buy that 310. It's still, look, we're not making any money. money here. It needs to go higher, but finally a hold down there. We were pennies away. This is how fickle trading is. We were pennies away. I showed you where my stop was. It was 5 cents away from triggering. Then we bust up $1, so we will take advantage of that move right there and get out at 310.40s, and now wait to see if we can get something else going now back up to said upside here for Tesla. I hope it can go. Palantir doing its own thing right now. We said we look at Big Bear AI. That's one. The stock visualizer. So shout out right now to Fabian and everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit the like. Hit the like. Put some ones in the chat. You guys like this thing or what? Like,
of course they
start voting. Start getting going. Put some ones in the chat. Yeah, exactly. Get the chat going right now. If you like this, shout out to Fabian. He's watching. He wants to make sure that you guys like that. If we're going to build other things. But there goes Big Bear AI right into yesterday's high again and then fade. So yeah, I mean, we got to wait for earnings. This is still weeks away right now for earnings. I think it was 2 weeks, so it's not next week, the week after. I'll find the exact date for Big Bear AI. But for me, let's go Tesla right now. Starting to get to the high side again. Let's put some offers right now. We're 50 cents in the money, but we're looking for higher. Yeah, Neil, there's Big Bear AI. $7, I think, is a decent area.
Yeah, it's interesting that Big Bear AI gets to the top of that list. You think, maybe it could be HIMS, maybe it could be Amazon, which was flying around there. There's a million things running, but that's why it's important to get your name in there. Yeah. And just a reminder, not to call you out, the ace or anybody in there, you got to hit $sign first. Right. If you don't type $sign, then your symbol will not get in there. So I go, I'll just show everybody. Here's an example, $sign HIMS. I almost typed SMCI. I don't even know why I just typed I would have typed SMCI. They report after the bell. HIMS just went green. It doesn't have to make sense. HIMS is now at 64. I will forever. This is probably the biggest SSR bounce I've ever seen. Yeah. I was just trying to think of something that on a percentage that made this kind of a move, and I missed it at 50. It didn't go to 54, so to say that I missed it at 54, it was at 55. It's now filled the entirety of the gap into $64. So I said I'd wait for 61. We waited, and now we're at 64. But it's got to show me some signs of the other side of the trade. Absolute barn burner to the upside. And that's without the market actually doing anything. Like, the market is essentially kind of trend down here. And this one's still going. So 64 looking for the next reversion shot. VWAP was like $3 away the first time. VWAP's now $5 away. So the opportunity obviously gets bigger the crazier it's going, but it doesn't mean that you want to get completely reckless with it. I need to see topping tail, show me some sellers in the 64 range, and then we'll try to grab the rollover. The stock is nuts. Absolutely nuts.
Marissa just asked me how the day's going. I said great, and I said HBU. Is that the right thing I'm supposed to say? How about you? I don't know.
I've never
trying to be like all cool like that, so I don't
know those terms.
I don't know that either. But is that what you say? How do you? Because I was saying how about. So is it HAU? I don't know, but I just. Anyways, she asked me how the day's going. It's going all right.
HBU sounds fine.
HBU sounds right. How about you?
I've also seen WBU. Like, what about?
What about you? Okay, yeah, that might be something as well. Well, let's see if she answers that right now. She hasn't seen it. Okay, here goes Robinhood, guys, to the top side right now. Nice break for Robinhood. Taking out 107 is that new high right there. We'll see if we could do that. I think that's worth a break long on Robinhood, but I don't know about how many shares. I'm going to try 1 unit on this break of Robin. Oh, there. Okay, well, broken. We just take it in. So there it is, man. We are now long Robinhood. We wind up getting 06s or 07s. What did it round up to? But anyways, new position alert right now for Robinhood. Quick little long. You know what? We just break that high. It's starting to go. It's coming from nowhere. So let's just see it build a little bit of a base down here at 106. Let's just have a look to see what Robinhood means here. Wait a second. How high is? Oh yeah. Okay. I was going to say I knew we'd gotten higher, especially with its past report. But 109, 10. Okay, so we do have some upside potential here for Robinhood. But there it is, a fail. So it's a good thing. You know, we won't keep on going with Tesla, but there it is. It just broke again back down through 309.50. So there's an out. We did take a little bit of an advantage there of this dip buy. I mean, this was the one trade that didn't work. The 312. Both Neil and I had something similar to that. Then the fade back into 310. That worked good. And then we got stopped out of it, and we're like, let's try again. And then there's the next stop out. So again, I'm a changed man. We don't just keep going back and forth with all of these trades, man. Once we're out of one of them, we'll We'll try it. I'll try it again. We held the 200 period. I thought that was reasonable, but now we break under and start to go a little bit lower. So I want to change my whole attitude right now, and I'm thinking about a short, especially if we take down these TQQ bottoms. Like if the Nasdaq breaks lower, what's the story that's going to help this come back, right? Palantir is not, although Palantir, congratulations to Palantir, by the way.
Another one.
It was now the 20th, as this is brought to you by Adara, by the way. Thanks, Adara, for this little tidbit. The 20th largest company now by market cap. Is that right, what I heard, Adara? Yeah, that's like this company. Wow, that's amazing. A company that just listed 4 or 5 years ago down at $11. Palantir right now 175 right now and going higher with nothing stopping it, really. I mean, that's kind of crazy to say that, but I do believe that Palantir can go higher. My offer is at 195. I'm going to think about taking this TQQ break right there at the low of the day. That's 87. Let's break 87.50 and go short on these TQs and see what Adara is up to right now.
I have a small cap for you guys here, CWD Calibercos. I'm not seeing any new, or Calibercos. I'm not seeing any news on this name. It is worth noting, though, market cap $4.27 million, pretty small market cap. The float, also really notable, 770,000 shares. So sub-million share float and roughly $4 million market cap for CWD. Again, no news right now, trading around $5.50. Back to you.
I got out of Robinhood. Might be wrong, but I was just, we caught Neil jamming there. I was just like, if I'm going to think the market's going down, I'm going to take a 10-cent hit on Robinhood. So I'm out of Robinhood right now, 90s. We got long at so 16 cents worth of a hit there on Robinhood. We'll pass the pipe and go somewhere else because like right now, man, if I'm thinking this market's going to break lower, I do not want to be long anything really. We'll sit here. Palantir, we have about 4% left of this trade. So I would say that we are like in maybe a tenth of a unit, like very, very small trading there for Palantir. But I did adjust my TQQ idea. I'm going to go short just on the low of the day break, which is right now. There it is. So now we're short right here at 50. I mean, the low of the day was 60 or so. We now short at 59. So not a great punch into the low right now. Let's just see if the market wants to continue lower. We're going to have to give it a little bit of time here, but like now I'm starting to throw some profits away. Like we were up huge on Palantir, we still are, but we do take a little bit of a cut. So we're down 10%. No, actually we're down about 15% of our day on Tesla, 15% of what we made on Palantir. DraftKings relatively flat. Robinhood, we're down 4% or so of what we made on Palantir, so that's a nothing burger. So we don't want to throw back too much here, especially if this TQQ doesn't work out. So just looking at an area, I mean, we always use 50-period moving average. This is kind of why we like this trade. We do have some easy outs, so 88.10 right now would be scheduled for an out, and I think a good average in spot if we really do rip 87.90, something like that against us. So let's try that, and I mean, if we give some back, we give some back. Neil, I mean, that's what trading is. Like this is why we get out of Tesla as it starts to move back down as well. But yeah, so right now S&P 500 and the Nasdaq start the day near all-time highs again, and the pullback seems to be a little real for the market. And I think it's led by a lot of these bigger names. Like Microsoft is now red, unfortunately. Amazon.
Tell me Amazon's not.
That's what I was going to ask you. No, Amazon's up 2%.
Amazon's super strong, everybody. Well, you know what? Like it's.
Robinhood's all the way back.
I selfishly wanted it to go. Well, not to go yet, to try to get in some more in the long term, but wow, greed is not always good. If you wanted it,
it's never that good.
Hims is giving you a scalp trade on this high at 64, but again, like I don't play a mean reversion trade like this to try to grab 40 or 50 pennies. I don't think, like that's just not. The thing is running like a bat out of you know what. The idea is to position in here for the reversion and try to play into VWAP. Like I'm bidding out in front of prior, like it's always the same thing. I bid in front of that prior high, and then I want to make sure that I'm bidding out. Whoops, I thought I zoomed out. And I want to bid out at pretty much the prior support levels until you get to the volume weighted average price. So like that's just the risk to reward of this trade. So that if you win it once in a while, like say an Intel one hit the other day, they should be able to pay for 4 or 5 of them. But yeah, you could scalp this if you wanted to, but I'm not looking for this for the scalp. Like I think this is a couple of bucks, or it should be a breakout trade to the upside. JP Suede. Yeah, Intel did have a pile of bad news and is going straight up, but that could just be a factor of it being at $19. And we said this with Lucid, we said this with Rivian and some of these other small cap names. And it's not that Intel's a small cap company, but it falls somewhat into that bucket. It gets more like, it's more like those than it is like other things, let's put it that way, in terms of price action. Trend down, holding a low, and holding a low for almost the entirety of the year, which is a good sign, except the fact it can't really bounce off of that low. So what's the catalyst? Apparently sometimes it's the news is so bad, it's been so bad for so long that we're tired of selling. And then you get but then you get a relief rally because as it goes up, anybody that's shorting has to cover. Because no one, it's like sell exhaustion, I think, is the only way to describe it on a stock like that. But I don't think you want to confuse that with the same type of upward momentum until it starts taking out levels like 21, 25. So anyways, just in HIMS, it's back to flat, but I'm not bidding till it goes almost $1 in the money.
All right, good trade there. Hope that will continues to work out. All right, so yeah, just for me, we'll take advantage of this Palantir move higher there. We just bounced off 173. Let's take advantage of that now. $174.55 right there. Here go the futures. Come on, man. Let's bring this thing down. We were in this. We called this short right now. So yeah, a little bit of a break lower right now. That's another idea brought to you by me and the futures, though. I don't know if it's going to go or not. Let's see if we can get a little bit going now. We just bid a little bit out at 50 just because that pretty much was the low right there. If we're going to zoom back out a little bit, I do have an offer at 40 right here at 40, I think. Yeah, 41. So if we can come into that area right here, that could be a play. And then ultimately, I think, what's up to Jay Lee if you're in the chat and some of you other traders out there that trade futures. And again, welcome to the show. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. We sit here every day. We trade. This is a futures play. We're on some different names here. So far, you can always ask us again, how our day is going. If there's any stocks you guys want us to talk about in the chat, put them in there. We do have that visualizer going. Make sure you do hit the like and the subscribe. But here it is right here. If we can get a piece out around 40, this little area there, great. And then we'll see if the futures do want to come back in and touch around 87 right now. And again, this is not like trading. This is not the NQs. This is the TQQs. This is the Nasdaq. It's a triple levered ETF. So it will move 3 times faster than the Nasdaq as far as percentages going. I like to trade it just because of that fact, and also the fact that it's a stock rather than a futures contract. So a futures contract looks like this, H25, oh no, we're on U, sorry, NQU right now. So this is what the futures contracts look like. And it's just different order entry, different feel to them overall. And I just prefer, I'd rather short the Qs, and I just choose TQs, a little cheaper, a little bit easier for us to trade as a group. So you can also trade SQQ and go the other way. But again, you'll see me, Neil, pretty much never really in the futures, and we trade different names all the time. I know Obi can be in here as well, Joe, sometimes Sharif not as much, but that just goes to show you, that's what trading's all about. Pick your poison, pick your spots, whether or not it's futures, Tesla, HIMS, anything like that, get into it. But, at the end of the day, you look down, you see your net, and that can really help you figure out, where the direction is for you. There it is right there. Thank you. You're welcome, man. This is what we're doing the show for, honestly. There it is. Thank you, TD Baker. Quota made for the day. I mean, now you're starting to sound like the way we do around here. You're welcome for the sticky note. And again, it's at Trader TV Sean and also on Instagram if you're looking for some trade ideas. So nice move to the downside right now in the market. We'll see if the TQs want to continue that play as well. But again, thanks for the super chat. It does mean a lot. I mean, that's why I'm putting those out. It's great to see that others are starting to do that. And I'm also putting out every day. We're going to have to go to Adara first. But, if you guys want to join the party with me every single day, I'm asking what plays you guys have as well. So, Palantir was huge last night. What else are we looking to trade? And some of you mentioned AMD, Tesla, Palantir, and AMD. Adara says FIG. We haven't looked at FIG yet. Figma, Coin, Burke B, Palantir again. Hey, good morning, boss. What's going on with that one as well? So we'll just like all of these and say, thank you for the continued support of the show as the futures right now looking to get low. Let's see if we can get our 41 fill. That would be nice, Adara.
Let's take a look here at the IWM, which is also getting low. We are taking out that pre-market low / consolidation area here around that 219, basically just shy of 220s. Right now, we are trying to break lower. Bit of a double top here for that 221 level for the IWM. Not a ton of small caps today, at least that I could find. But if you do want some more small cap action, definitely check out our midday show from 11 to 2 with Joe and Sharif. Sharif trades these extensively. We have CWD to start. This is Caliber Co's. Could not find any news on this. I mentioned this one earlier. $4.27 million market cap, 770,000 share float. So small float, small market cap for CWD. Then we have CETX. Couldn't find anything for today in terms of news, but Semtrax back on July 31st, it announced that it acquired $1 million in Solana. So it looks like this is another treasury type play, CETX. This last name, not a small cap, I do apologize, but it was the closest that we have here. HIMS, which is technically in the Russell 2000, so still within that realm. $13 billion market cap, 32% short float. They did beat EPS, missed on sales for their Q2 report. Q3 and fiscal year 2025 guidance was a bit mixed, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, mixed guidance. You can say miss, you can say mixed guidance, but this is the thing with the small caps. Look, the other thing we didn't even mention this enough when it comes to the small caps. Remember, the higher the odds go of a rate cut, and last I checked, they were 88% or something along those lines. IWM, all the Russell names get really big. 37% of the Russell reports this week. So it's a big week for the small caps. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with some of the ones that we get tonight. Like HIMS is a different story from like Open's not HIMS. And HIMS certainly has, you know what? I don't want to say it has more going for it because at the end of the day, it has a ton of bad news as well. But it's been trending much better than something like an Open. Let's put it that way. Open is more of like that up and down flush trade, whereas HIMS has been going upside for a while. So anyways, it's still exactly where it is. If you want to be scalping off this level, it's still giving it to you, but it just refuses to fall. The pent up probably means that from here, you got to expect it to go. It breaks higher, you should expect a couple of dollars. It breaks lower, then I think we should be getting that volume weighted average price almost for certain. The other thing that I'm eyeballing, of course, is if I'm being patient with it. I tend to think that it's mostly bad news with Intel, but my execution strategy on something trending to the upside is either it's at a monster level or it breaks the trend. So this gets underneath 2040 here, and this breaks the trend, and I take another shot at this bad boy on Intel. But I got to pick my shots as this one's going to the upside. Let's see what we have in store. Ooh, I did download that book.
Yeah, we do have Trade the Pool here as a future. We've got a nice little trade there. You've seen Trade the Pool here with us now for a while. Thanks to Mitch for coming through this morning. And now Trade the Pool has created something special just for you. You scan that little QR code there and you get a free ebook featuring 4 proven swing trading strategies from Trade the Pool's top funded traders. Inside, you'll see exactly how they approach the markets and how to manage risk, what setups they rely on, and how you can learn and grow from what is working. Download it now by scanning the QR code on your screen and hitting the link in the description. But yeah, so far so good there on all of this. We want to thank Trade the Pool again for sponsoring up this segment and this part of the show. But there goes the futures to the downside, man. I mean, we did look at this. The bear claws are now coming out in full effect right here again. And check this play out right now. I'm you know what? Like, I'm most proud of this, to be honest with you. This is a losing trade. And this is the one that, I mean, there's Robinhood. We said we wanted to flip up our mind and go short the market. So we punch out of Robinhood. Right now, that would be $1 the wrong way right now. But we were able to get out of it. And now it's not even like we had it. It's just a little blemish. It has nothing to do with our P&L or anything. So we get out of the way of that one. So I feel pretty good about that trade, specifically for the spidey senses. And we talk about that all the time. It's not just about the sticky note. You know, we can have all these ideas, but at the end of the day, if you have all these ideas and you're putting up a bunch of L's, sometimes they don't work for you. And sometimes you got to adjust with what you've been talking about in the middle of the day. And I think that's what we did a pretty good job there. Have your high conviction setups, basically, at the end of the day. And you'll be okay if you can sort of roll with those. And you know, take what you think is the best opportunity for you. We did see JP Morgan make a downside play there again on negative news from President Trump. I did not get hit my 303s. I was sitting there for 303. The highest we got was 301.
PA?
Yeah, in the PA, yeah, 302, 301.75. So maybe we'll relax and take a little bit out right now of that if it does come through. I see you guys. Wow, the futures right now, man, we are really like, we're pumping, guys. This is to the downside. This is going to be honestly, just another one for me. We're just starting to stack it up a little bit right there. We made back what we've made back what we lost. So just this trade alone, we made back what we lost on Tesla and on Robinhood together. So far, so good there. As Neil said, man, sometimes it just takes one. And for me, yeah, that's taking multiple ones right here as it continues to make that move. DraftKings, we get stopped out there. Not great to go again. And right now, as I check back on this one, it's still Big Bear AI, but what's making the lead here? Oh, Palantir. A lot of traders, well, I mean, look, we're in Palantir. It's going to be PNL number one, and we like that trade, but, you know, we'll see if it can run out of some steam here. Palantir having a hard time breaking through 176.
176.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, highs are highs. That's the thing, like all-time highs. It's when you have a blue sky setup, there's always these random levels that start to come in because profit takers just use some voodoo to find levels. But some people like Fibonacci's. I think when you're riding something like that, where it's just going so far, maybe you look at the fibs. But you know, we're starting, like you said, we're starting to roll over. HIM's just finally pulled back into the half, so 162 halves. That's where the bid was. I'm bidding in front of 61 half. I'm bidding in front of 60. Oh. And then the same thing over there with Intel. Yeah, this one broke the trend finally. Well, I mean, it broke a steep trend here, and then top wick the 220 and a half, and then broke the trend line again. It's coming into the volume weighted average price. I'll hold on to a piece for under VWAP for Intel, just because Intel, I think when it loses VWAP, you want to hang on to it.
It's tanking right now.
The trend is the trend. This is up 4% though, so I do need to cover in the volume weighted average price. On a wath of bad news, remember, this is actually somehow magically to the upside. The other one, and I did mean to go over this one a little bit more because we actually had on the watch list, and I even had it on my list, Figma, but I don't know what to tell you. Figma has less movement than, this is insane. It's just not moving today. 85 was the open price. So I just figured, well, if there's size at 85, go long off 85. If 85 breaks, try the punch short with a tight stop. It was just play off that level. It's not going up. It's not going down. Literally nothing is happening on Figma. So for whatever reason, sometimes it happens on IPO. Like you get a couple of days out and there's just no juice. The volume's gone. So I don't know if there's going to be a trade there. But I did note, while we were doing some research this morning, next month, we get CoreWeave's lockup expiring. That is going to be, I think, a big opportunity.
It's going to be epic.
I think, well, epic, I think, is the word. I think it's the 24th of September, if I'm trusting Perplexity, because I just looked it up. Anyone can do that math, 180 days, whatever it works out to be, whatever they have it at. But I think that's going to be a big lockup expiry. And I think it's to be the same thing for Circle whenever it happens. We're in a weird IPO market where things are way too frothy, in my opinion. You can't just have these ridiculous runs over and over again. Either the underwriters are going to correct it or the market's going to correct it.
Yeah, exactly. The thing about, I was going to say right now we have 88% chance of Fed rate cut. I just want to say here, what's up, Mo Sham right here, 98% wins as usual. Yeah, I know that you're just being sarcastic on that one, but you can always ask us. You know, we're honest. You can ask us how many stocks we've traded today, what our win and loss are, and that would be that, and that would be the end of that. So, you know, we try to be as transparent as possible here on the show, obviously, as we have Randy right behind us. What's up, Randy?
What's up, Randy?
Hope you are doing well today. That's for sure. I actually just got a coffee, a little bit of a reload there. But I'm on the water tip right now. I'm okay for coffee.
I'd probably take one if you're... Yeah, if you're.
Thanks, Randy.
If you're free.
Always helping us out here. But yeah, so the Nasdaq, nice little downside push, anyways. And here's this little Fed talk here, and you know now it looks like I just refreshed it. So I think yesterday we were around 87. I don't expect too much of a change here. We do have more jobs coming out this Friday, so we'll figure out that, and then PMI next week. So this will alter for sure. If anything, this may climb. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a surprise rate cut at some point, especially if those job numbers are bad. Then you're going to see the market do a dance. And if you go down to December, Randy, I don't know if you got to re-up any you know, interest-bearing ideas, but you are going to get, and here in Canada, we haven't cut at all, but it looks like we could get 3 rate cuts by the time December rolls around here in the States. Oh, you know what I meant to ask you about, Randy, was we did have XOM make a move. By the way, the TQs are getting lower right now. We better get... Yeah, and it's still going. Yeah. I mean, right now, into the bottom there, earnings not well received. I wasn't here on Friday, but you could see it's been 4 or 5 straight down days. You like these levels still, or what's going on?
I don't know. The earnings had a bit of a negative sentiment, but honestly, they're sitting on a huge pile of cash.
Well, they should be, though.
Yes, and production efficiencies are up. Yes, rig counts are down, but I don't see
futures.
I don't see them being risky here. I don't. There's overproduction right now, which yes is a problem. Yes, the summer driving season's coming to an end in a month or two, and then demand weakens. Is that going to drag them down? I don't know. They're healthy. Okay, there's no reason to panic here, and CVX is in the same boat. So I really don't see any reason to jump off the bridge here. I just again buy the dips maybe, but I don't see a lot of negative sentiment holding on.
You still like oil?
We're not running around with our chicken. Like, energy's been such a huge disappointment,
right?
Throughout the entire year. And look, the thing is, I have a bounceable portfolio too. Like I own a decent amount of CVX. Thankfully, not too much. But like look. With the recession concern somewhat coming in there, Caterpillar had a bad number. You got to worry about the demand aspect here.
That's what I'm.
Right? Overproduction is a problem.
I'm just saying.
And OPEC Plus doesn't seem to care that much. And other than Middle East tumult and other events that might trigger
tumult, Wow,
tumult.
There's some next level stuff happening right here.
Here we go.
I don't have the. Oh, here we go.
Those are the events that the word of the day.
Is it just a short form of tumultuous?
Impetus on Thursday.
Is tumult an actual word?
Tumult?
I'm sure it's a word.
Okay, I know
Randy's
it's a short
not going to make it up.
Tumultuous.
Yeah,
it's a word I can 100% confirm.
Give this guy a coffee. I think they're healthy. I don't see any reason for extended negative sentiment here. I just don't. So buy the dips. Have a nice day.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I actually don't own pretty much any energy right now. I own nothing. I own Enbridge. Which
in Canada. I was going to say.
No, I don't really own anything.
Every Canadian owns Enbridge.
Yeah, but this is a name that I wish I would have put my money into something else when I've held this stock for 20 years. Enbridge right now, and it's actually starting to go upside the pipeline right there. Wow, Enbridge. Okay.
The monthly charts where you got to look.
I might just sell this thing, right now, because I'm not in this market for dividends right now. The growth is too huge everywhere else. But look what's happening right now. There's the here's the move down for the futures right there. Look at this, nice move to the downside right now. Boom, there it goes. Nice take into 87 right now, man. I'm sure glad that we and this is what it's all about trading. Like there's our Robinhood discussion, where we were in it and out of it in 3 minutes because we weren't feeling it. That's the decision you have to make sometimes. There's the move down. Just don't wait to get stopped out. Like that's why 95, 98%, that's part of the reason we have no traders behind us. You have to be disciplined, okay, with your ins and with your outs. And if something changes, don't let the market stop you out. Like you have to sometimes, and it'll happen all the time. Like I'll take a long and get stopped out, or a short, or vice versa. It happened here on Tesla as well. But look, this is what keeps you alive, right? And you can't up your game if you don't have something like this in play, right? Even if they're all losses on a day, like we talk about that all the time. Neil or myself will put on a trade and we will have our outs. And I think that if you don't respect those outs, then what in the, there it is right there. A good little trade there on the futures. Oh yeah, where's that one? There's it is. Go red right now. What up to Jay Lee or anybody else in the chat that was trading futures with me right there? We like that low of the daybreak. We called that play right there, and now it's going to the low side. Let's take out a little bit more. It's only 10:35 right now. Lots more to go.
And speaking of lots more to go, what's crazy is I just saw, I don't have the money wheel Fibonacci trader. The Fibonacci trader,
nice.
V is in there. I don't have the money wheel on my stream deck, so I can't hit it. Sean can, but TSM short, 5 in the money. There's opportunities everywhere.
Oh yeah,
that's the thing. I don't think we've even looked at TSM today. I don't think we've looked at TSM since their earnings. I can be real about that one. But ultimately, like I said, if you want to find opportunities, however, there's lots of places to do it. Our watch list is fantastic, but having a platform like an eSignal where you can scan, where you can back test, where you can test out indicators, and you can do so for the first month free, like they're still doing over eSignal, I think is pretty valuable. You can trade through multiple brokers. It's a customizable platform with reliable data. You can use the API, so you can automate your trading, as I say, almost every single time for those that want to trade multiple stocks or multiple strategies. And the value is really in its customizability and ability to adapt to all different types of trading styles. So try it out for free. First month is still free over eSignal. Scan the QR code you see out in front of you. Whether you're starting your trading journey or you've been doing it for a while, the market requires you to have quality tools, not just for execution, but for charting as well. So HIMS is almost at the volume weighted average price. So the plan is at least working here. It broke the trend. It never really took out the prior high. And again, like this, the way I look at it, when it's trending up, it's like increasing opportunity, but try this level. Like, why did I want 61? I wanted 61 because of the prior low. Why did I wait for 64? Waited for 64 when it fills in the next gap. And that's pretty much all you can do. And then somebody really intelligent that, said the line, I guess, would be, when there is a gap, then fall back to VWAP?
Brian Shannon was, when there's a gap.
Is it fall back to VWAP?
Oh my God, yeah, basically, it's when there's a gap, play to VWAP or something. Now you've screwed me up.
Well, it's something like that, but I play mean reversions if I think I'm really against the grain, and a squeeze stock like HIMS, I think I'm really against the grain, then it's the volume weighted average price is the target. So whether I actually get 60.5 here or I just see the buyers start to win, I might just punch out of the trade. We'll see. I mean, they're in control underneath 61 here. Part of it's probably going to be the market heading to the downside as well. I'm trying to get that out in front of 60.5.
Oh, the market's heading down? Oh, okay.
And Amazon giving it back. Of course, Amazon's giving it back. And shout out in the chat, someone's like, oh, thank you for the coin trade. But I remember I lost on the coin trade and then missed it. Because the thing about a trade like a mean reversion trade, like you've got to be on that stock at the moment that it does the curl. Right? Like when Coinbase was doing this, I was looking somewhere else. That's just how it is. HIMS at the open when it did the SSR bounce, I was looking at Palantir. I got a quick scalp on Palantir. I couldn't have known that HIMS, I had no idea that HIMS was going to go 20% without a red candle. Obviously, I would have prioritized it if I knew that to be a fact, but I didn't think it was going to be that strong. All right, here comes the volume weighted average price. Give me my fill. There we got it. We just got out in front of the volume weighted average price. And again, these are the types of, like for me, I like that execution, but if I just try to short that at every single level, it's disaster. We tried it at 2 levels, fair enough. I'm still in the reversion on Intel. That's more or less the same thing. But it looks like we're already time for a sector watch and apparently some news.
The news involves an earnings name I don't think we've discussed too much today. Pfizer, CEO happening right now. Albert Bourla, CEO of Pfizer, saying during their conference call the company's apparently in active talks with the U.S. government over drug price policies. Now, in case you guys missed it, when Trump initially released his tariff letters to pharmaceutical companies, there were 3 that he addressed by their first names. Those are the CEOs of Eli Lilly, Pfizer, and Regeneron. So PFE could potentially be in a better place here than some of these companies, as the CEO says that he's been in contact with Donald Trump since the letter that was sent regarding these drug pricing, or the pharmaceutical tariff letters, if you will. Let's take a look here at the market, or this heat map. There's a lot of weakness to be found. Berkshire Hathaway, actually one of the few green names here in day 2 earnings, as JPM, Visa, Bank of America, and others sell off. Producer manufacturing really weak. Utilities pretty weak here, though. NEE actually to the upside. Commercial services pretty weak. Energy minerals red. I did mention the institutional side of Wells Fargo downgrading its outlook for some of these energy commodities, which did, when it came out, send up numbers or stocks like XOM and CVX to the downside. Retail trade a bit mixed. We have some strength in Amazon and HD. Electronic technology, Apple actually strong here, trying to bounce back after its earnings a couple days ago, but everything else here pretty red. And technology services, Oracle and Palantir, two of arguably the best names on the year, pushing higher today. Palantir, of course, aided by its earnings reports. We've got Google and Microsoft a bit more flat, but everything else here pretty weak, guys. It's very hard to find bright spots in the market today, as you can see. Back to you.
There was a thank you, Adair. There was almost a bright spot in Caterpillar because they were down after their earnings, and it looked like, I mean, it went green today. So it's, you know, sometimes you really, really like it when a quality company gaps down on earnings, and by the time you get to the open, it's going green. It's like, oh, we're all systems go. It's going to be fine. No, right back into the red for Caterpillar. And this is, like, I'm not terribly, like, I didn't sell any of Caterpillar. I'm not really that scared long term for the stock, but you do have to consider the bellwether aspect of this. Like, if you start, like, this has been ridiculous. Like, come on, give me a break. Caterpillar went 260 to 440 in a few months. It's just not normally how these, I said this about GEV. Like, yeah, it's great to be long it, but like at some level, you're like, this is a pullback that's probably trying to come in these stocks.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And this one in particular, you get concerned about what it might be what it might be saying for the overall market. And I think when there's concerns here,
what is going on?
There's certainly concerns across the board. And the more you get that, I think it just increases likelihood. It's already at 90% that we get cuts because you're starting to see cracks in the armor.
Yeah, good talk right there. Yeah, the futures right now are cracking, and again, there it goes, man. We actually were thinking about, remember we were thinking about shorting Nvidia at one point there, and we flipped it up and went the other way. Not the other way, but we started to short the futures, of course, right there. So let's just wait to see what winds up happening right now. But there we go, to the downside with Nvidia as well. Now breaking through 177. Looks like that might have been the good trade. But for me, the trade of the day for me is this Robinhood trade, getting out of this right there. And obviously, my biggest winner is going to be Palantir, as we just took some more out. I might as well just get out of everything on Palantir. These futures right now are cracking and cracking pretty darn good. There, look at that, 42s. Give me that right now. Nice little move to the downside right now, 86.42. More than that $1 now in the money as we go lower, lower, lower. We're back to day's high, so forget about the loss that we had there on Tesla. That's erased now. The loss that we had here on Robinhood, that's erased in DraftKings. Shouldn't have been a loss, but it does break temporarily and comes back in. This might be a strong stock to look at here. It's not. It's weak on the day, but for the fact that it hasn't hit that again, I don't know. Pretty interesting there. I'm not sure when they report actually.
It's this week.
Let's let me double check. I'm just going to go into TTV Research. Trader TV Research. Shout out to Adara over there. Doing a great. Yeah, it's okay. Okay, Neil has it right now. We can go over to Neil as well. But there it is right there. So you could see on the week. I'm just going to find it myself as well. No, don't worry about me, man. Go back over there. Here it is.
It is Wednesday.
Yeah, we both have it up now, but
I was wrong.
Yeah, there it is. So Wednesday. There's some big earnings, man. Oscar Health. I think that's going to be exciting there in the middle as well. Shopify coming through right here. A big Canadian company. We say shout out. Wow, I mean, these futures, Neil, right now we are getting crushed to the downside, and your boys got this trade where it's been a huge trade. It's now $1.50 in the money. Now, as there it goes to the downside, man. Palantir, TQQs, we're all over them right now. We're at the highest spot we've been at all day, but the market goes lower. And why, you might ask? We got some good numbers today. I mean, Pfizer's upside right there. Caterpillar makes the bounce back, but then comes back in again. We wait for weak jobs data, potentially now finally starting to hit the market. I don't know. We were up there yesterday, but down on the week last week. So some of that negative headwinds still affecting the market, it looks like, as we get into some of those lows. Yes, sir. Big move to the downside right now. I mean, look, I'm forever long in the account, but right now today, taking this trade, pretty happy with that one. Hopefully we trade it with a little bit more shares moving forward, but boom goes the dynamite now. Robinhood looking at 105 again. Tesla, can we look at 3 bills for Tesla? I don't know, but there it is right now, back into that 305 area. Potential long spot there for Tesla on a bounce, but I don't want to go long. The real strong name today, and Adara sort of talked about it, and we're going to go right back to her in a minute. was a great report coming from Pfizer, beating revenue expectations and, again, raising the full year guidance. So Josh Brown doesn't need to pay anymore to go on CNBC and pump Pfizer. Looks like that's happening right now. Watch out for a 27 or so break right there for PFE.
He's a Pfizer guy?
Yeah, he's a big, every time he goes on, he talks about it because he's holding the bag, right? And then there goes Q's right now. Wow, big move again to the downside, guys. Let's just take advantage of that. It's your trade of the day. It's the TQs. Palantir was easy day. This one took a little bit of thinking, so there it goes. Nice move down to the downside. We had Figma yesterday. We can maybe have a look at that.
Figma might break the low in about $1 or so. I just want to make sure. I'm going to use an edge A stop.
All right.
Double check.
You still got short intel. I hope that's.
I still have short intel. Obviously, like I told you what the plan of action was on HIMS to get out at the volume weighted average price. It did bounce off VWAP for like a little bit, but it's absolutely tanking now. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if it came all the way back in to the lows at 55. Usually, you'll catch a bid before that, but that's just absolutely nasty. Figma opened up, so the issue price was 33, I think, but 85 was the open on Figma. So once it prints 1 cent under 85, that is a flat bottom break by definition. It's the quote-unquote all-time low because obviously it hasn't been trading that long. Let's go over to Adara. I did say I'm taking it, but it's not SSR, I don't believe, so you should be able to get a fill. I'm expecting there to be liquidity, but we didn't get the fill when it broke $110 yesterday, so you never really know. The spread opens up pretty big. Adara?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know I don't really have any news on this. Apparently there's more dismissal and firing here coming from the White House, but not related to anything involving the market. It has to do with that Puerto Rican oversight. I did want to mention as well, the reason that I was seeing for this market dropping was those 10 a.m. numbers. They were worse than expected. The ISM Services PMI 50.1, that's below the forecast of 51.5 and 50.8. So I just wanted to let you guys know in terms of why is the market dropping. Trump hasn't posted anything on Truth Social, which we know can and often does lead to these random catalyst-free moves to the downside, but he has not posted anything here, guys. It does just seem to be ongoing reaction to this ISM numbers and potentially more, I guess, turnover in the White House as well. Back to you.
Got siren right now. Get it, Adara. Get it to anybody that's short as well, man, as we just continue to make new lows here in the market. Big day alert, right? Big day alert right here as we're cooking it up one more time to the downside with this futures play. The Palantir play is, we just got a bump up. So I might, you know what? I might just get out of everything right now. I don't even... Like I said, I messaged the wife there, and she messaged me asking how everything was going. I said great, but we had given some back there with Tesla, and so I was like, and then I was just like, let's settle down, find the next play, and we do exactly do that right there. I'm going to get out of all of Palantir right now. Let's see. That's it. That wraps up your trade of the day right there on Palantir. Let's just get out of it. P&L wise, the trade of the day, but I think like our big call was really this futures take. Once we took the low of the day there, I was like, the market's broken. We did have, that's Sharif, that's Joe hitting that. I mean, just look at that. I mean, well, you take this is $2 straight to the downside. We have over a percentage in the Nasdaq. We took this when the Nasdaq was green, and right now you're down 0.6. And Adara's right. I mean, we didn't have great numbers there at 10 o'clock, but this break doesn't start till about quarter after 10. So ISM bounces itself off of $88, and then it's a downside play right there. So there we go to the downside. Yeah, what's up, Bob Knob? Why do we call TQs the futures? So the futures would be Qs, right? So this is the Nasdaq 100. So all I'm doing, which is just going with something that trades triple levered. So the Nasdaq is not, I understand it's not the futures. That's how I call it. And it's just like trading the futures. I could have shorted this just as easily as trading the TQQs, but for me, it's an easier play to be in something that looks like an equity. So again,
right. It trades like an equity.
It trades like that. It has a bid and an ask of 1 penny. The fee structure is exactly the same.
It's a different in the P Pro system here at Real Trading. It's a different risk.
Yeah.
It's from your equity risk. It's a different keyboard setup. as well, your futures trading. So it's just from a practicality standpoint,
call,
almost all traders, it's just from an ease of execution. You use your same keyboard lid, all the stuff is the same to trade the ETF as opposed to trading the actual futures. It's one of the reasons why like we got Bitcoin trading. And I was like, oh, let's try this out. And then the second that we got IBIT, not a single trader looked at trading Bitcoin again, because just even hitting the keys was just a huge frustration, and the increments were, you're not used to it. You've been trading for 20 years. Trust me, you're always going to want to execute on something you're most comfortable with. I think that's the best way to think about it. The thing you're the most comfortable with. Wow, Figma really just bounced off of exactly the lows. 85.06 on a heartbeat, but only for now. For now, it bounced off of 85. I think it's still going to take out this level. That's what I'm looking for next. Only about 10 minutes to go, everybody. Intel broke VWAP. I'm holding on to it. Whoa, why am I still offering? That was weird. Oh, that's right. I didn't get the full fill. That's why I was still offering up there on the entry. I'm like, why am I still offering when it's already moved away? No, sometimes I'll leave the order in on the off chance it gets picked up. But once we've already flushed like this, if we get back to the high, I don't want it. So we took a couple of swings at this at the high and then one earlier. Now we're actually getting the move back in and just going back over to, oh my goodness. I still am, this thing is still falling. I'll probably look, I didn't think we'd get down to the low 55s again on HIMS, but if it does get back down there, I'll look for a mean reversion in the other direction too. Like HIMS, the earnings were bad and everything, but this is just a pure momentum play. Like, why can't it revert, and then another one down here in the low 50s? That's nonsense how much this stock is moving. Like from bottom to top, it already went 20%, and it just gave back almost 10%. Yeah, pretty much a 10% move after going 20% to the upside. And it's still 7% down, HIMS. Yuck.
Okay, we're going to go over to Adara, I believe, for Money Talks.
Here is our Money Talk segment. This uptrend on the daily chart for the USD does remain intact. When I say uptrend, I mean, of course, only just recently from lows. We've been in a downtrend for much of the year. But based on the movement we have today and yesterday, it looks like we are looking to maintain that slightly higher low with a base here of around 98.60, currently trading around 98.80, almost 98.90. So not a bad look here for the DXY. Let's see if we can take out this 100.3 level and make another higher high to continue this attempt to push back to the upside. To be fair, we're still well below our year high around 110. As I mentioned earlier, it seems like a lot of the reason for this negative sentiment in the market that came during the day was the ISM Services PMI print. It was not well below estimates, but notably below estimates, 50.1 versus 51.5 forecast, and the previous print of 50.8. I was reading some notes in it as well, and this ISM data just kind of marks a trend that is not going in the right direction when it comes to some of this economic data we've been getting. I want to talk about the Federal Reserve and who's going to be the Fed chair. We had Donald Trump, President of the United States, appearing in a very lively CNBC interview this morning, and he was asked, who are you considering for Fed chair? He did confirm that both Kevins, quote unquote, are being considered. Kevin Warsh, who's pictured here, Kevin Hassett, who's on the other page of this infographic. You can check this out on X at TTV Research. He did, though, eliminate one contender. He said Scott Bessent, not in the running. It is worth noting the White House previously indicated that this was the case, but Trump basically said during this interview, Scott Bessent said he does not want to be Fed chair. He likes his current position as the Treasury Secretary. So Scott Bessent's out, Kevin Warsh is in, Kevin Hassett is in, and Christopher Waller, who is the other major contender, is still assumed to be maybe on watch. But Trump mentioned there are 4 people up for grabs. Who could be the 4th potential new Fed chair? We're going to have to wait and find out. But certainly check us out on X at TTV Research if you like this type of content. I suspect I'll be posting a lot more of these Fed-related ones lately. And stay tuned here. Check us out every day on Trader TV Live. Back to you.
Thank you so much. As always, Adara. Just checking, with only 5 minutes to go, just a quick note. There was a new name a second ago on our little pick of what is moving the most. It's still Palantir #1, AMD HIMS, that makes a ton of sense. BBAI moved down a little bit. Open door, don't forget, Open's not moving right now. It's not moving today. But I promise you this, Open is going to move tomorrow after the earnings. No questions, no doubt about that. Alphabet, Tesla, you guys are interested. Oklo actually made the list here today. So, yeah, not sure what's going on. Sorry, Oklo. Is it Oklo or Oklo?
It's Oklo.
It's Oklo. Oklo making the list today. Nvidia makes a ton of sense. Amazon, was looking so good for so long on Amazon, and now with the rest of the market starting to come back in. NVTS, another earnings name, down double digits. Navitas getting absolutely smoked. We saw that in the aftermarket show, already heading to the downside, and not looking any better here. Down 15%. Yikes, coming in at number 8. So yeah, remember, whenever you're putting in the symbols, you gotta hit $ in the chat. Otherwise, it will not show up. So everyone that's typing in, I saw some people with that CDW stock. Is that the one that was moved? No, it's the CR. What was it? Small capper.
Which one?
It was C something. CWD? CWD, that's the one. Yeah, but that didn't make the list. So anyone that, if you wanted to show up, make sure you're hitting the $, up 187%. That's not an ominous number at all. And continuing to run. I mean, if you're looking for strength, you're probably finding it in a squeeze name today. When the market goes down, your longs need to be in like squeeze stocks that don't care what the market is doing in a general sense. They'll just kind of go on their own. So whatever CWD is,
I'll check.
It is certainly, it's minting some winners if you're to the long side, I suppose.
That's right.
See, I keep wanting to say CW. I don't know why I want to say CDW. It's just weird.
Sure, maybe an hour time frame. Okay, so just real quick, man, we did get out of the rest of our Palantir there. So that's going to be ending that day right there at VWAP. So a good out. We take some out there as we break, but Palantir a monster today. Needless to say, futures. We have less than 10% left. We have about like 5% left as we got to get ready to go back. We'll go to the gym, we'll come back, and we'll be entering the chat. You can have some fun with these boys, and I'll come back and put some trades if I see any coming through there. But we haven't done this in a while, but let's just figure out what's for lunch. All right, you guys always want to know what is for lunch. Today should be actually a pretty good one. We haven't had this in a minute, I feel like, here. This morning it was hard-boiled eggs, so I guess there's 12 of them in Sharif's bag right now. So we'll watch him have that right there. Should I had 2 boiled eggs this morning. What is happening? I mean, actually, yeah, normal stuff, actually, Adara. So here we go. Yes, get it, Sharif, and get it, Adara. Those are the two most popular sentences here, and we want to say get it to those two. But today, hopefully it's not too blackened for my girl over there, Adara, because too spicy. Blackened tilapia today. So
we'll find out.
We'll find out.
We'll find out if it's doable for me.
What do you mean boo, Joe?
All right. As there's
Joe's
talk
not
about
feeling
this,
it, apparently.
Joe loves all kind of food, man.
He
Joe's
said
gonna
he's
like
not
that.
feeling it.
He doesn't like tilapia pie. That is for sure. With vegetable pilaf, seasoned vegetables, and chef's choice salad.
You got to get on that
right now. As Adara is telling a tilapia story to Sharif right now, and often wonders what's going on with us.
Well, what's a bad tilapia story?
I don't. Who
Look,
knows?
don't get me wrong. Like, if you could easily overcook it and it could be terrible.
Yeah, right? It's not a great fish. I mean, for me, haddock,
it's easy.
Halibut, like the steak. Fish, like it's so thick, it's like a steak, the halibut sometimes. Really like that.
I'm a red snapper.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Tilapia, I don't think it'll be salmon sometimes on top of a salad for us. Sometimes we get that.
Do that. Right.
And we don't mind it, but it's 10:59 right now. And yeah, I would love some real seafood.
Whoa.
I mean, going to Boston was...
This can't be real.
Was awesome.
Guess what's breaking the high? No, don't look.
I just looked at your screen.
No, it's fine. Unfortunately,
yeah, Palantir story, yeah. But.
Well, I don't know why this is bucking the trend in the market and acting bullish right now, but Webull just broke the high of the day, and I wouldn't have known it if someone just said tilapia is not real fish. The dirtiest fish you can eat?
Yeah, it's a bottom dweller.
No, I know, but it's still, look, man, does it taste good? when
I
you
think
eat
it does. I think it
and if it does, then it's fine. No, Webull breaking the high of the
I think
day,
it's aight.
up 5%. Oh, we like Webull, and I love it even better. You got to zoom in to get a sense of that chart.
nice.
We love it even better when it's going up in market weakness. That's what you want to see. Nice bounce on Webull off the 50. Almost, it didn't even get to the 50 period on the most recent bounce. I thought it would get us back in closer to 12. I took some out. Well, we already talked about this before. We took some out here on the way up to the $18 level, but I wanted to get more shares back in of what I sold if we could have held. And it did hold at 50 period. It just didn't come close enough. I wanted to come down to like 12 to 12 and a half. But it's a good sign that it's already at 15, showing all kinds of strength. I'm only going to hope, because I haven't looked at SMCI today. Ooh, no. No. Okay, it's just a Webull thing. SMCI at the low, Robinhood, more bounced off the low, but looking relatively weak. This is just a Webull story, apparently. Going. Not a story I know of, but I certainly like it. We'll have a look during lunch, see if there's a reason for this on Webull, because I'd love to see why it's so counter-trend to the market and not even going with its other cohorts, which have all been very strong. But you know what, everybody? We'll be back at 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know where you're going. We're going to eat some tilapia. Well, we'll probably have chicken with a salad. You guys will get the professor, Joey Options, who does not like tilapia or pie or cookies for that matter. It's midday. Go get it, boys.
Dang it, not a big deal.
Bottom.
Boom. Greetings and salutations, beautiful